Live from the Horny Toad Bar Grill in Cranfills Gap, Texas.
Buddy, that's as good as it gets.
This is Texas Big Star Live with your host, Brian B. Barrett.
Good morning, and welcome to Texas Big Star Live, broadcasting from the fabulous Horny Toad Bar and Grill right here in burgeoning Cranfills Gap, Texas. There's nothing wrong with your television set. It's the people operating the equipment. We're using muscles and brain cells that have lain dormant for so many years, and now we're bringing all of that tried and true precision to you. Texas Big Star Live, May 27th. Welcome to the show. It's a long 3-day weekend, maybe 4-day if you started yesterday, and it's just good to be an American today. As you know, Monday is Memorial Day, and we'll be speaking a little more about that. But today's show is like a grab bag of goodies. It's a cornucopia of kindness. It's something else that has alliteration in it, and I'm glad you're here. So let me start by saying The weather outside today is like 75, 80 here in the wonderful hill country of Texas, with a 150% humidity. And you just can't beat that kind of glowing. Gilligan's Island wasn't even this comfortable. And those of you who may have trouble with dry skin, come on down to the hill country today. And we'll give you a moisturizer that cannot be beat. Designed specifically for your skin, assuming you're human. Matt's back there downing what looks to be a Dublin. Jake is manning the gear. JB's in the wings. And we have a host of folks walking around back behind us, and I can hear the thunder rolling in right now. The bikes are coming in. It's going to be a great show. So let's start with something that's near and dear to my heart. And that is music stuff. Those of you who may not know, part of TexasBigStar.tv is a channel called Music Quest. Now, Music Quest is about music. It's about a love for music, a passion for music. Those who enjoy listening to music, performing music, being a part of music. It's part of our lives. There was music at the beginning of the show, kind of a little theme song. There's music on your playlist, on your phone, in your car. So Music Quest is a channel about that. But coming up in the next week or so, we are launching together with myself and our producer, Matt Wallace, who does a great job of digitizing all of my thoughts so that they're actually coherent and make sense to you. Sometimes it works vice versa. I make them clear because of his thoughts, but in fact, without him here, it's like I'm just not, you complete me, Matt. So,
no way I'm coming up there now.
You got to make an entrance now, man. Woo! There it is, Music Quest. And if TexasBigStar.tv, you can pull up Music Quest. But coming up very, very soon, there's our friends John and May and Daddy May. Real soon, we're going to be having our Music Quest singer-songwriter competition, or singer-songwriter showdown. And this is an opportunity, those of you who are listening via our chat on Twitter, via however you're listening, this is an opportunity for you or someone you know who is a singer-songwriter. Now, someone may say, what's the difference between that and a talent show? Well, the difference is a singer-songwriter competition is all about the song and the performance thereof by the person who wrote the song. So some of the criteria that may differ with a singer-songwriter competition is that many songwriting competitions don't regard a performance, and many of those, if you look at them online, they're simply you send in a digital, an MP3 or a video of yourself playing, and then that is judged. But with the singer-songwriter competition, this particular one that we're doing, the in-person regional competitions, they're local. I say within 2 or 3 hours of our area here. There will be one in Denton, one in Abilene, one in San Marcos area, and one in Stephenville, and probably one here at the Toad. But the difference is that performance aspect. As a singer-songwriter, I'm singing something that's dear to me. It's coming from the heart, and the performance thereof is really, it has some roots in, it's an expression. It's a heartfelt expression of something, whether it be telling a story, whether it be just talking about life, something poetic, something clever. But just if you're interested in something like this, we're going to have more info about it coming up soon on the Music Quest channel in Texas Big Star. We're going to make sure everyone knows about this. But the introduction to this would be someone who's interested would send us a video very soon of their performance. They could be on your phone, and we're going to compile those and begin to judge those. The first round of judging will take place. There will be singer-songwriters judging that, as well as some professionals in the music arena, in the music biz. And from those, we're going to take anywhere from, I don't know, Matt, 50 of those that passed round one? Something like that. Since we have up to 5 regionals, we can probably handle up to 50 or 60 that make it to the second round, and then there will be 4 regional competitions. So some of the criteria would be uniqueness. Is the song unique? If you know someone who plays a song, you're like, man, that's very unique. I've never heard that. It's appealing in that way. Have them look us up. Lyrics, obviously, if it's a songwriter competition, it has to be, there's lyrics. And with the lyrics, there's always melody. Those two things really are the real essence of what I consider to be paramount as far as a good song. It's got to have great lyrics that tell a story that cause someone, it moves someone on the inside. It does something to them. It's like it pulls you in. And the melody. For me, the melody needs to be, if not, well, it always needs to be catchy. And I say that word a lot. It needs to be catchy. Songs that I've heard maybe for the first time, and I walk away and I'm still got the melody in my head 2 days later, that's a good indication that was a catchy melody. It just is. Most of the old Beatles stuff, there was no absence of catchy melodies. They just had it going on. What else? Originally we had commercial appeal, but I'm going to change that to mass appeal because the whole commercial music industry is trying to figure out what it's doing right now. But does the song have mass appeal? Or in its appeal, does it reach a broad spectrum of a demographic necessarily? Obviously, if it's simply a song that's kind of aimed at one demographic, that wouldn't be the best thing to do. But that's just my opinion at this point. Delivery and performance. The delivery of the song, the performance of the song. Like I said before, if it was just a singer-songwriter competition, a songwriter competition, it would be just based on your lyric, and the performance and the delivery would not have any bearing. But in this case, the singer-songwriter, folks that are out there every day, or at least have a desire to be out there all the time, performing their own original works, the delivery and performance is a huge aspect of it. It's a very big aspect of it. I can have the best restaurant in the world, but if I don't hire the right kind of staff to deliver that meal, you might think less of that meal based on how it was delivered. So therein lies some of the criteria for the Music Quest Singer-Songwriter Competition coming up, and you're going to hear more about that, much more, I hope, very soon in the next, I would say the next 10 days. Right, Matt? Hope so? Yeah. It's all about the venues, and we're trying to come up with about really just one or two more venues, but those towns that I mentioned will be where they're going to be taking place, and you're not going to want to miss that. So if you're out there in our Twitch chat room, those listening by whatever means you can, tell your friends, tune in for more information, and by next week, hopefully, we'll have a lot more info for you. Today is special in that obviously it's a long weekend, but also the proprietors of the Horny Toad, Owen and Sandy, they're not here. They're at a different event. However, they were adamant about letting us know some things that are coming up real soon, and I have some information about that. I don't know if you want to run that or not yet, Matt, about their crawfish and shrimp boil coming up. What are we reading, Matt?
Trying to figure out what they said about the guy in the orange shirt. The guy in the orange shirt's asking what they're talking about.
Looks interested in the show. Got you fooled.
You mean the guy hiding behind the cedar post? It looks interested in the show.
Are you ready? Now's the perfect time to go on the show. No, really.
That was
I'm the wrong guy.
that was a pretty good intro. Folks, if you're just tuning in to Texas Big Star Live, welcome to a show that could go anywhere at any time. Pretty much the most organized portion of the show just happened in the last 5 minutes. So from here on, heck, if you chat in via Twitch, we'll probably do what you tell us to do, assuming no one will be harmed, injured, or lawsuits drawn up.
Hey,
Okay?
You hearing me out there, Brian?
I can hear you.
Awesome. So I was highlighting earlier, I think it was Sniper?
Uh-huh.
Am I the only one who thinks Bungalow Bill by Beatles is a masterpiece?
You know,
I don't even know that song.
the Beatles had such a cool handle on lyric and melody and the musicianship of those guys. I heard an interview with Paul McCartney on the Redbeard show years ago. Now I'm telling my age, and Paul McCartney said at the time the Beatles were forming in the Liverpool area of England, there were other bands around, and there were other musicians around. And he said this, and I'm going to quote as close as I can. He said, there were lots of other bands and people and players, He said, but when you put them together, and they were great musicians, and he said they were even better than us. He says, but when you put the four of us together, John, Paul, George, and Ringo, we could lick them. There was some kind of magic that happens, and it's that untangible thing that just it's like working on a good basketball team or sports team. You get used to, and magic happens. You get used to what other folks are doing, and creatively something happens. So, Matt, what are your thoughts? It is your...
I heard you say Beatles.
Beatles.
And this guy,
Chris
loves
Ave.
them.
Yes, he does.
I talked to Chris yesterday. And you were talking about
Music Quest.
Music Quest.
And our judges. Yes, and you told me that there's a possibility...
hold it. I'm not trying to corner him.
We're not coercing or cornering you.
No.
But if it works...
Be very,
awesome.
very clear. But I did talk to Chris Ave about that because I know the guy, and I have in my head what would make a really good judge.
Yeah.
And it's got to be someone who, in my opinion, thinks clearly, understands how to compare and contrast, understands the process of songwriting.
Right.
He's done that and has a true love for music.
Yeah.
And he definitely has that. And you were talking about the Beatles. He just wrote an article. I don't know if it's out or I think it just was published. I see he works with the St. Louis Post-Dispatch.
Yeah, he's the political and national editor of the St. Louis Post-Dispatch.
He does some television commentary, and he's
a professor at St. Louis University.
Professor, yeah. And but he did an article on the 50 years after the album. Sgt. Pepper's.
Doesn't this say that there's a remix of Sgt. Pepper's, the 50th anniversary?
Yeah, there's a big push. Obviously, it's a marketing opportunity that people are not going to miss. And he wrote an article about it. And this guy, Chris loves him some Beatles. I mean, I've known fans, and I'm a fan, but I'm not a fan when you compare it to Chris. But Chris Ave is
oddly enough, I wasn't a Beatles fan only because that was before my time. Believe it or not,
it was before mine too.
Yeah, and but I know friends, obviously, and friends and family members, distant family members, that if you're a Beatles fan, you're a Beatles fan. You know what I mean?
Real honest-to-goodness fans are kind of a different breed, but then even they are not apples-to-apples comparison. I mean...
Apples. They were on the Apple record label. It's funny. That is humor. I recognize that.
If you... I don't know how it compares, say, an Elvis fan to a Beatles fan. They're just different.
Oh yes,
but they're dedicated, so that's the same. But like I said, Chris, if you're watching or seeing this, I am not trying to paint you in a corner. I'm just saying that how thrilled I was to talk to you.
I was pretty pumped,
and there's even a glimpse of a chance that you might be one of our judges at one of our regionals. That was thrilling to me, and it was just an excuse to say hi, and that was cool. Interestingly enough, Miriam and I, for years and years and years, threw parties periodically.
Yes, you did.
And this last party that we threw was in 2015, called Party for No Reason. We had music going from 2 until 1 a.m., solid, like 7 different bands. We're going to be publishing some of the music from that party this summer, and with interviews from some of the people on their music quest. But that's coming up. That'll be fun. But that party was the very, very first party that Miriam and I ever threw that this guy wasn't at.
No, I missed
very,
that
very
one.
sad for us because we tried to figure out any way that we could get him to that party. It just wasn't meant to be.
Wasn't happening.
But the last party we threw was many, 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 many years. Oh, actually, that's not true. I just realized something. We had thrown a party in 2008 that you didn't make either.
Oh, yeah?
It was the opening night of the Beijing Olympics.
I had a gig that night.
Yeah,
I remember because I went and changed clothes over at the YMCA in downtown Nashville, and I realized that I'd not brought any black dress socks for this giganto wedding reception that was taking place at this hip
So you're
nouveau
just very
riche.
hipster with no socks.
No, I went and when I talked to, of all people, my friend Mark Dreyer from Gadsden, Alabama, was on the gig. Great musician. And he was making some kind of run. Hey, man, I'm going to the store. I want some black socks. Gold Toe brand, please. It's like, what?
You wear those too?
Oh, is
That's
there
what-
any other brand of dress sock?
I like those.
What
So
are
we
black
threw.
toe. What
Gold
toe
Toe.
brand sock? Gold toe.
Gold Toe is a
Yeah.
brand.
Yeah.
Been around for a long time.
What was
All
that?
the finest gentlemen
What
with
is
them.
this? You making some sort of like old man comment or something, bro?
No, I've never heard of gold.
Yeah, well, I'll
gold
show
toe
you
sock.
some.
They're like a gold fabric on the end of the toe. But anyway,
yeah.
Mark Dreyer picked me up some, and I remember going back and changing at the YMCA, which was near where the gig was, and looking up, and that was when they used these. The opening ceremony had these giant LED panels. Yeah. Anyway, that's
We threw a party that night as well. So
Oh,
I
you
guess
did, huh?
technically that was the first party we ever threw that you weren't at.
yeah.
And so my point is that the last party that you were at was in 1997 at Crystal's.
20 years ago.
And that's a long way around, all the way through the Nashville YMCA. But Chris Ave was at that party and joined you
yes,
on
he
stage.
was. Oh yeah.
And we had a group called the Beamers
Oh, yeah.
in college, and it stood for Barrett, Mixon, and Wallace, BMW. We called ourselves the Beamers. And there was kind of a vibe we had. It was kind of all of our songs were pretty silly and just for fun.
Mm-hmm.
And it just had a vibe. It was heavily influenced
Way
by
before
Brian.
Fish and Hootie and the Blowfish.
Oh yeah,
Anything with fish,
Chris,
we do in that
Chris
kind of
Mixon
groove
would
before.
write some amazing, incomprehensible lyrics.
I got him.
No, I mean, you're like, what is he saying? Which makes
You mean what's he really saying?
what's he really saying? Which is, the core of any good rock song. But I said to you that if there was ever a Beamer in attitude and spirit and skill and just
Yeah.
presentation, it was Chris Ave.
Yep.
And
Yeah.
when he was on stage playing with you, I think we had some really horrible video of that, but you could see him up there just getting
Yeah.
into it. So.
Yeah, I mean, you don't. Not everyone can be a Beamer.
It's Old Memories Day here on the show, and
Well, send us in your old memories, folks, if you're out there in television land.
Our conversation.
The fact that I use
Completely-
television means it's Old Memories Day.
It's true.
Hey!
Look
us
at this-
Twitch, we can multitask.
Look at our
Like,
look at our chat. Like they're completely zoned out, talking about
Freezer,
totally different
51
things.
Fahrenheit.
Two conversations at a time. Twitch, we know how to do it. But I have to say, it's really cool. So I don't think we've had her in chat before, at least. But Marianne Grzelewski,
That's right.
basically my aunt. She's pretty much, I'm not related to her, but she's Aunt Gruz. She's talking to people on Twitch, and that's great. It makes me happy.
Is your point here that there is an older generation, which Marianne is part of our generation, now
I'm just
on
saying she
this
hasn't been here
younger platform
No.
that young people hang out on Twitch? Because we added a friend of ours, Alice Eads, who's 80. I think she's 85.
Yeah,
She has a Twitch account.
she does. Oh, 89.
What?
She's 89.
89? Oh, I missed that. Well, that would be older.
I need to get great Uncle George. He's 102.
Yeah,
Get him a Twitch
Marianne is
account.
definitely not old. I can't imagine. Old is never a term for her. Yeah. I don't care what the numbers say. Her spirit will never be old. Do you know Marianne? I don't know if you've ever met her. That's weird.
I don't know that.
That's just strange. When you look at your life and you've got these friends.
I think I have. No,
You met her.
I think I have.
But you don't
Oh, yeah,
know
yeah.
her. I mean,
Yeah.
you're not spending time with her. So, Marianne, this is Brian. If you remember correctly, he was like the celebrity flying from out of town guy in that play that we did. He was in all white hat,
No,
white
wait a minute.
everything.
Wait a minute. Was she at the wedding? Yeah, we talked at the wedding.
Well, of course. Okay, see, that's the thing.
Yeah.
I'm completely losing.
Yeah.
Yeah, she was at the wedding.
Yeah, that's we talked because we talked
Yeah,
about that
but-
very thing.
Yeah, but she would. Yeah.
I mean, I've slept since then.
So now that we've excluded all
The
but
hard
like
drive
4
might have been
people
erased,
from our
but-
conversation, we probably should say thank you for joining us. Stay with us, Marianne. It's good to see you. Maybe
Never mind, Matt, Marianne.
I think everybody here has plenty of experience ignoring me. I'm pretty sure that's a thing.
No, I mean, it's
So,
just, we
I'm
kind of
okay with that.
It's part of the show, man. We just ride that
Oh, I
wave.
meant before the show even existed.
of
That was a
well,
thing.
that's a given. No, I don't, because if it weren't for you, I would. I would be making up a lot more stuff. He actually sat me down and went, "Here's some things you want to cover," and then I'm like, "I better write these down."
So here's the thing. I came on primarily to say hi to Marianne because my wife said I had to, and I wanted to be clear. But if you're going to be like that, I'm just going to leave you.
No. I'm going to take my show and leave. He'll be back. You know what I want to do right now, Matt? Where's JB at? Talking to JB.
I don't know where he went.
I saw him here. Folks, if you guys don't know who JB is, JB is more than just a production assistant. He's apparently a production assistant that can sip on a Dublin. Yes.
Remember this guy?
Yes.
He's going to be here next week. Do you have anybody lined up for the musical guest for next week?
Not yet. Would you like to be our musical guest next week, sir? Okay.
We have his contact information.
Yes. All right. Man in orange shirt gonna be our musical guest next week. Okay, what was his name? He called himself Wile E. Coyote. Wile E. Coyote is going to be on the show next week, folks.
Dylan
Assuming
said his name is actually Wiley. We think something like that.
maybe it's William E. or something. Goes by Wiley.
Maybe.
If you'd like to be an anonymous musical guest on our show, please write in to the Horny Toad at whatever address Jake can find and stick it on the screen. And we'll make sure that you're an anonymous guest.
I don't know if I don't know.
No, I'm just joshing.
Although we are talking about having online musical guests. Maybe we don't know if it's going to work.
Oh, that would be so cool if
But
we
we've
could
talked about it.
harness that sort of
Yeah,
that a huge amount of zeros and ones going up and down into space. JB, come on over. Talk to us. Hey, is that a vintage retro? What do they call it? Yeah, that's the vintage cola from Dublin. That's one of my faves. Yum, yum. And let me say this, while JB's here, he's been an inspiration for me to remember to tell you that our sponsors, we have sponsors for the show, and you can be a sponsor too. And we'll talk about that later, but Dublin Bottling Works is a sponsor of our show. And Dublin Bottling Works is a bottling company making soda pops in Dublin, Texas. And last night, I happened to have a vanilla cream soda, a Dublin vanilla cream soda in the fridge. And I left it there for about an hour. And it was calling to me. It was calling to me. So about 9 o'clock, more like 9:30, I sat out on the porch with that Dublin vanilla cream soda. And I looked up at the stars. And I got to tell you, in life, there's not a whole lot of better feeling than when you're sipping on a Dublin and staring at the stars. And anything is possible at that point.
I'll drink to that.
So grab you some taste. Grab you something that's going to last. Even when the bottle's empty,
You still
You
got
will.
a cool bottle.
remember Dublin. And you'll still have a cool bottle, too. That wasn't really a plug for the sponsor. That was just my own personal experience. Do I embellish it? No. It is a surreal moment. Make it a Dublin moment.
Very good.
JB, you have been in school for a while. Tell the folks out there about JB a little bit. You're a
I'm a
student, high school student.
I am a ex-sophomore now.
He's an ex-sophomore.
So I've been going to school for a total of, 11 years now.
Yep.
12, if you count kindergarten.
Pre-K or something.
Yeah, pre-K.
Something like that. Yeah, I lose count.
Yeah. So I've been in school a good majority of my life, and I'm out of it for the summer.
School's out for the summer. Hey, school's out forever.
Oh, I can only wish.
No more teachers, at least for 3.5 months or something like that.
Yeah,
So
something
you're going to be a
along those
junior
lines.
coming up in the fall.
Yep.
JB's been helping us out here as a production assistant, a PA, not to be confused with a physician's assistant
Or a private assistant.
or a private assistant or a public address or any other whatnot that PA might stand for. Those of you in Twitch land, let's keep it clean.
Yes, please.
Is Texas Desert Rat on?
Where's Tech?
I don't know where he is.
I'm sure he would come up with no less than half a dozen things of what PA could stand for.
Stand for.
Pac-Man angst. Pool attendant. Yeah. You see, now we're going on this now.
Yep.
Well, it's okay. Let's clear your mind of everything. So this summer, what you plan on doing?
What I plan on doing.
You got some downtime?
Yeah, I've got plenty of downtime because I actually currently don't have a quote-unquote job.
Okay.
But what me and Matt have kind of been talking about is me maybe working more closely in a post-production area.
Post-production. I did that for a summer. It wound up to be fence building. I thought I was doing something technical. Mommy, I'm in post-production.
Well, Matt,
Yeah.
am I digging post?
That would be the same kind.
All right, so
Post meaning after, not pre.
yes.
Uh-huh. So for those of you thinking about what does post-production mean, it is many times like we'll shoot a show like this, and it requires a smidge of editing after the fact to maybe dial out the slow spots, which
They have like a 5-minute show.
would make a nice, a small 30-second infomercial.
Yep. It would just be our sponsors, and that'd be it.
Woo! I mean, I try and keep things going,
Yeah.
but we dial out. Sometimes there's just things that, if there's a lull, we're waiting on a guest to come up, we dice up those things so it makes the show quicker to watch
Yeah.
for folks. That's post-production. And there's audio. You're fixing audio sometimes if there's technical difficulties. So you may be helping out with that.
There's something else.
Ah, yes?
So, also in post production, this is something that some people don't understand, is that if you want to get the unfettered, the real raw thing, you have to watch the show live.
Bro, yeah.
Because occasionally we have colorful characters on who say things that definitely get edited out.
Yeah. And colorful people that like to touch the host.
Oh, yeah. Well, no, we didn't edit that out. That was too entertaining.
Yeah. We let that one in.
You know, you kind of still shell-shocked from a number of months ago.
I was in a corner and could not move.
That's correct. But like if you
So now folks are going, I want to see that episode.
Yeah,
What
exactly.
number was that?
it was probably 7 or 8 or something like that. It was pretty early. But
Jake, put it up on the screen.
if you want the unbeeped, unedited version, you
Yeah,
have to watch the show
yeah.
live.
Yep.
But
That's
occasionally
true.
there are things
That's-
said that
that's
we're
right.
like, and
Don't
we edit
believe
that
I
out.
said that. But so yeah, we edited
Not that we would take a high school student and give them just a string of expletives.
Fool the fool.
Sorry, we're laughing at
Cool
the
the fool, yes
the
indeed.
chat windows.
The
You got to
chat
get on
window.
Twitch on the chat window if you want to see the full show.
Invite your friends.
So-
Tell your parents. Come on down.
So I apologize, but that's part of the post-production stuff is getting rid of the bad stuff.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, it's some stuff that's entertaining, but may not be for every viewer, and may not pass the content test of whatever media delivery system we use for the show later on. Although the rules are pretty lax, much like building airliners today. So you might be doing post-production. What interests you the most about that?
I would probably have to say just being able to see what I can do to create a good finished product.
That is the goal of post-production. And there's also some other things that go into it, colorizing things, enhancing colors for broadcast after the fact, compressing the thing and all that fancy schmancy stuff and that Jake knows about, and I'm just a talking head and keeping all the plates spinning, looking at all the stuff around me and trying to make sense of it all.
We try and make you look good.
You do try to make me look good.
It's not hard, Brian.
I do well.
People seem to come up and tell us on a regular basis. Well, what was it the other day? Oh, it was at the party. Someone came up to Matt and said, so your wife's playing music, and is that your son?
They thought I was Matt's son.
Yes.
That's awesome.
He's not in the room right now,
He's not in
so
the
he doesn't
room.
even know that this is part of the show. He didn't know I mentioned this.
Ah. Whew. Well, JB, I'm excited for you. I hope that does pan out. And
same here.
If it does pan out and you're on the property there at the production studio, drop by my office with a vacuum cleaner and stuff. And
JB, don't listen to him. Don't listen to him, JB.
all right. And when you do walk in, are you up on your shots? I mean, you got complete shot record, like tetanus shot and everything?
Yeah.
All right. When you walk in, you'll be all right. You'll be all right. Well, cool. I like the idea of you being hanging around doing some post-production. You could help add some stability to. I mean, the truth is, the more stuff we do, the more post-production is needed, and you get a bigger staff and people like that. But that'll be great. So, folks, this is JB, and you're going to be seeing some more of him. Who knows? You may be seeing a lot more of him. So he's summers are off.
Yep.
You ever mow lawns in the summer?
I actually never had the opportunity because my family never actually owned a push mower.
You didn't have a riding mower then?
Nope.
Yeah, I've mowed lawns before. When I was in college, I mowed lawns. That was an interesting, just a side note, we are close to Memorial Day. My first job in college was at a place called the Carpet Mill Outlet. It's not there anymore, but it was selling carpet, and it was downtown Abilene, Texas. And I don't think I ever sold any carpet, but I wound up mowing the lawn for the owners a lot. And they had a little Honda push mower. I think it might have had a 14-inch swath. Very powerful, but just very small. And I would look after their pool. The husband of the owner, the husband, not the wife, but the husband was a World War II P-51 Mustang veteran pilot. And I'm sitting across the dinner table from him. This is a great story. I'm sitting across the dinner table from him, and he was just eating and eating. I said, well, thank you for lunch. He goes, I can't taste anything. I said, you what? I cannot taste anything. My taste buds are gone. I flew airplanes in World War II, and German Messerschmitt put a lot of bullets through my window, through the canopy, beat me up pretty bad and cut some nerves, and now I have no taste.
Huh.
And he said, but it don't make me any less hungry. And he just kept eating. And that's about the gist of the conversation I had with him. He was a man of few words, but he just let me know. And so I'd like to talk with him. We talked more about airplanes, and I was into World War II birds back in the day, and that Spitfires and Mustangs were at the top of the list. I used to draw pictures of them all the time. But so
Yeah.
it all started with me mowing lawns. You never know what opportunities may arise just
Yeah.
by doing a summer job. And so the opportunities that may arise for you, that's great. We expect big things from JB because you've been a great help to us here. He does so much behind the scenes, everybody, that you don't know. And it takes a team of folks. It takes a village people to do the job here.
The same people that made the YMCA?
Right. I'm not sure which village. Here, quiz for our Twitch streaming chatting people. Of the people on staff here that you know, hey, Jake, can we bring up a picture of the village people?
Of the village people?
Yeah.
Yeah, the band.
Oh, okay. Hold on.
Yeah.
Where are we going, Brian?
Well,
Where are we going
I'm
with
just
this?
curious. Who would pick your? I mean, who would Sloth Time Lord be if he were a village person?
Oh,
There's
snap.
5 of
We're
us, so
not
we got
doing
1,
this.
2, 3, 4 of the
Oh,
males
my
here.
gosh.
There's 5 males. Here we go.
Oh,
yeah.
no.
Oh, there's 6 there. I said, who put President Obama? Is that?
Wait, hold on. That's not up yet. That's not the right one.
Not the actual.
That's not the right
That's
one.
pretty close, though, man. There we go. That's
we
the
go.
actual dudes. Oh,
Hold on. Everyone just, let's see if this one works.
and here's another interesting note that the. Yeah, I think that's them.
There we go. There's
Yeah.
the village people.
Yeah, there's the village people. So, right in, there were 6 of them. So we'll have to narrow it down to 5 of them, and I guess we could add Miriam in. I mean, just because, not for the sake of male-female thing, but maybe she could just to round out an even 6.
Yeah.
Who? Let us know your thoughts on the chat there. Who would be the? If I were one of the village people, which one would I be? And you
The
guys.
one in the middle and the white shirt. There's no doubt about it. There's no question. This is
White
a known
T-shirt.
fact.
Brian's the tank
So
top.
apparently, Matt has cast his lot for me in that I am.
A construction worker.
But I still like to see what the folks out in Twitchland think. If JB, obviously, what would JB be if he were a village person? Matt as a village person, and then of course Jake and Dylan. Just send your thoughts and to us. We'd like to see what you think.
That is... I'm so glad we can just do that.
You know, this technology is a wonderful thing in my control.
JB would be Obama in the last pick. My fellow Americans.
They're-
He said, "Make
they're
Matt the
saying,
chief." There we go.
Yeah.
What did Stephanie? What do you think? We need a female perspective.
Oh my gosh.
You want me to pose like the guy in the hard hat?
Dylan.
I'm surprised you guys haven't superimposed someone's face over them already. You know, we have that
Why do I
technology.
have to be leather jacket guy?
You what? Who? Wasn't Ben Stiller a motorcycle guy
It
in?
looks like Ben Stiller.
It looks like Ben Stiller.
Yeah, I mean, he used to in several movies early on in his career. He had that mustache thing, not a handlebar mustache, but
JB's in the back. I like
JB could work. Yeah, he could work as a military man.
that
Yeah,
basic straight ahead. I'm standing here.
I'm standing here. Yeah.
I'm nothing special, but I get
Wait.
stuff done.
It's kind of a serious thing happening.
He says Stephanie says JB is the cop. Yeah. Jake is the leather jacket guy. Brian is the cowboy. I'll be your Huckleberry. Actually, Dylan may be the Indian guy. See, now it's just, we're changing our minds.
We will get...
And that happens, and that is the beauty of the village people. You know, it's that there's a village person in every one of us.
How did y'all get on that?
Don't question.
It's Brian. Brian doing Brian things.
Well, I was just saying, he works behind the scenes as a production assistant, and I said it takes all of us. It takes a village people to do this. And I said,
And then
speaking of,
yeah.
if we were the village people, which one would we be? you know,
And then it spiraled into this.
it is a natural. It's the way that I think. It's just the way it is.
I think I see where you're going with this. You like to take things full circle. We're back to that post-production, the things we edit out part of the show.
Yeah.
It's like kind of
This
like
is going. No, this is making it.
This is going
making
viral,
cut.
dude.
We are going to clip this.
There's going to be people superimposing our faces on that picture,
We just
and that's actually more frightening.
we just need to make a straw poll and then put it in the description of the video for this.
You know,
Artie.
No one wants to be that overly conspicuous guy on the left.
you know that trust that I've always had in your ability to help create things when they didn't exist.
You're welcome.
I'm really starting to wonder about that.
Are you kidding? This will be talked about for at least 3 or 4 hours.
Well, if we're gonna go there, there's all kinds of things we could do, Brian.
Well, we
I'm
like to have
drinking
fun.
Dublin.
I just told him my Dublin story from last night. I had me a cold one last night.
What you have?
Vanilla cream soda, and I looked at the stars sitting on the porch. Man, that was there's no better feeling in the world. And we didn't even show a graphic or anything. I just had to tell them my Dublin moment. That's my Dublin.
Hey, Jake, have we done any of the ads? Saying thank
no.
you to our sponsors?
Thank you for reminding everyone.
Well, that's okay. I mean, listen,
well.
we got time.
We do.
We got
We've
time.
got that.
Yeah.
It's very laid back here. I've
We should
talked
give
to
some love.
We've got
to
a
our
number of
hot ash
people here.
friends.
Chris Lesky. Man in leather girth. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Marianne. I mean, the activity that we're engaged in right now, I
What?
can't think of anybody better to join us than Marianne.
Oh, Stephanie, are you talking about a Dublin? Because
Have it with the boys. Oh my god.
I'm going to leave it with you guys for a moment.
Saturday?
Just kidding. This is the epitome
Saturday is
of
for the boys.
fun.
This is fun. All right, everybody. Moving right along. Let's see. Oh, we talked about.
Hold it. I thought we were going to do some ads.
We
We
are.
are.
A hot ash ad.
Run a hot ash.
Yes,
ad.
our other
That's a hot
sponsor,
ash ad.
Hot Ash,
Hot Ash.
Stove. Hot Ash Stove.
How's it going?
Welcome back.
The ad said everything that needs to be said.
The ad says it all. It really does. And one way to say things is through music. You know, earlier we talked about Music Quest and the singer-songwriter competition, the showdown. And we have musical guests on the show. The gentleman whose name we don't know for sure is going to be with us next week.
I believe his name
We got
is
this
Rob.
guy. What?
Ron Wiley.
So Wiley is his last name. Ron Wiley. Wiley Coyote, yes. He's going to be with us next week. But today, by special request, and you're going to be liking this up there in Twitch land, and we're going to have him on to talk with him in just a moment. Also, as right now he's setting a few things up, and I know how that goes. It takes a few minutes. But Sloth Time Lord, also known as, well, we call him Dylan Utira. I call him Captain D, but he can call himself whatever he wants because he speaks in the language of music. That's a nice hat you got there.
Yes.
That is a let's what does that hat say on it? That is a original Santo Ironworks cap.
It is.
A lovely chapeau de verre.
He's a
Yeah.
sponsor of our show,
Santo Ironworks, sponsor of
Bar YU, right?
Bar YU.
Bar YU
Yeah.
with Barry
Yeah.
Clower.
Yeah. Santo Ironworks. We'll make sure and send a shout out to them real soon.
Barry Clower is part of your life.
Yes.
We are glad
So I
that
got this
Barry is a
hat.
part of our life. Yeah.
Oh.
He just answered a question that no one heard the question. The question was, Barry Clower, aren't we glad that he's in our lives?
No, I enjoyed hanging out with Barry at the wine festival 3 weeks ago. 2 weeks? That was
I think it was
3 weeks ago.
three.
It was like 3 weeks ago or more.
Wait, so I haven't been to the Horny Toad in 4 weeks?
You haven't been here for a while.
Because
yeah.
the last show I was at was 3 weeks ago, which wasn't at the Horny Toad.
You haven't played music for
I've
us
been
for
in
a
this
while.
building for like 4 weeks.
Yeah.
It's kind of crazy. It doesn't feel like that. It doesn't feel that long.
Yeah.
Well, it's
Well,
good to have you back.
It's good to have you back. Dylan, make sure and render something for us, and I'm sure it's going to be great. You're going to do a couple tunes at first, you think?
Yeah, I'll do two. I guess
Wonderful.
Let's do some more later.
Awesome. All right, everybody.
But what's up, Internet? What's up, Twitch? Everybody? If you don't know, my name is Dylan. I stream on Twitch as Sloth Time Lord, if you like to look up my channel. I also write and record music under the name Gray Sky Symphony. And I think I'm going to play my newest original song today. It's one that's... So I've been gone the past 2 weeks because I went on a trip one weekend. And then I also went on our trip to Amsterdam about a month ago. And actually, the trip to Amsterdam is more relevant to this song, but that's what this song is kind of about. Because I had jet lag really bad on that trip. It's funny if you tell somebody, I was at my family reunion and I was like, I wrote a new song about my trip to Amsterdam. They're all immediately like judging me on what that song might be about. But that's not what it's about. It's about being jet lagged in Amsterdam. Or it's inspired by that, at least. It's called Jet Lag Baby. And it's kind of a newer one. I'll see how it goes. Might be a little rough. I gotta have my lyrics here. And 5 hours wasted and 2 days to kill. And I've never tasted such a bitter pill. But I guess it will help me sleep. Just a little more time to keep me busy until we meet. And I cannot wait. 'Cause you can be my jet lag baby. You can keep me up all night. Everything's so blurred and hazy, but I've never felt more alright. Alright. A flight to Atlanta and or Amsterdam. Should I take the metro and or take a tram? Whatever gets me close to you, that's what I wanna do. Half asleep 'cause my clock is skewed. I'm gonna be up late. And you can be my jet lag baby. You can keep me up all night. Everything's so blurred and hazy, but I've never felt more alright. And you can be my jet lag baby. You can keep me up all night. Lately I've been going crazy. Should have slept more on that flight. On that flight. And on that flight. Days blur together as I count them down, dreaming about the future and proper nouns and specifics and capitals. It feels like I'm back in school. You're a magnet, I can feel the pull. It's time to migrate. You can be my jet lag baby. You can keep me up all night. Everything's so blurred and hazy, but I've never felt more alright. And you can be my jet lag baby. You can keep me up all night. Lately I've been going crazy. Should have slept more on that flight. And on that flight, and on that flight, and on that flight, That's a fresh one, fresh off the presses.
That was
I've played it a
groovy.
few times before, but
Yeah. Very nice.
alrighty. What are you making? What's going on? These strings are feeling rough today. It's probably all the humidity. These bar
Humidity.
chords, we're not working these. Oh yeah, it was kind of high up on there. Adjusting technology to make it sound better. That's what we're doing. Thank you, Jake. So that was an original. I'm gonna play a cover now of a newer song I've learned by a songwriter named Vic Chestnut. We got a little bit of feedback, maybe? I don't know. Check. First, I got a tune real quick. Y'all could talk. You go to JB and have JB talk about stuff.
So I got a joke for you guys. All right, so basically, what websites would you go to if you need to help make a decision on a tariff for copper alloys?
It sounds like something from College Bowl. Question. What website would you go to if you needed to make a decision
On a tariff
for copper alloy?
alloys.
Was this a chemistry question? Is it going to be
It is not a
CU
chemistry-
like the
It is not
atomic,
a chemistry question.
The atomic name, number, and mass weight of? I don't know. What website would you go if you needed to make a decision on a tariff for copper alloys?
You would go to www.getdowntothebrasstacks.com.
What are you gonna do with that, Brian?
Come. I'm speechless. That is. I really don't know what to say, but we need to hear some music real fast.
All right, let's do it. This is a song called "I Flirted with You My Whole Life." I am a man, and I am self-aware, and everywhere I go, you're always right there with me. And I flirted with you all my life. I even kissed you once or twice. And to this day I swear that it was nice, but really I'm not ready. And when you touched a friend of mine, and I thought I would lose my mind, Then I found out that with time that really I'm not ready. And oh, death. And oh, death. And oh, death. Really, I'm not ready. Oh, death, you enter me. You decimate those dear to me. And you tease me with your sweet relief. But clearly, I'm not ready. And when my mom was cancer sick, she fought but then succumbed to it. But you, how you made her beg for it. Oh, Lord Jesus, please, I'm ready. And oh, death. And oh, death. And oh, death. Really, I'm not ready. But I flirted with you all my life. I even kissed you once or twice. And to this day I swear that it was nice, but really I'm not ready.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's really kind of pretty, bittersweet song. It's real well written. But by a guy named Vic Chestnut.
Wow.
Alrighty.
Well done.
Question. Was that Beth? What did you say?
What?
Death?
Death.
That's what I thought you said.
It's about death.
But
It's funny because
the whole kissing part, I thought maybe I misheard that.
Yeah. See, it makes you think it's about a woman, but then it's about death.
Yeah.
And it comes back, and the first verse has a whole different context.
Yeah.
I think it's really cleverly written. It's a good song.
Well written song.
That's like songwriter stuff.
That's
What's
a
that?
songwriter's thing.
Songwriter stuff,
thing.
yeah.
So who was it? Who did the cover?
It's a guy named Vic Chestnut. I actually don't know much about him. I think he passed away a few years ago. But it was another singer-songwriter I like a lot covered that song.
Right.
I really liked his cover of it.
Very good.
So it got me into it.
So you're going to sing more later, right?
Yeah. I got
Okay,
some more
cool.
tunes to play later.
He's going to come around and talk to us now. Come on around, sir.
Come on downtown.
Dylan is going to be joining us in just a moment to let us know some stuff that if you're listening via the chat or listening, tuning in, or otherwise, you're going to want to be a part of this because I believe he has something to give away of sorts. He told me a little bit about it, but we're going to find out right about now. So what you going to do, man? What you got there?
Hey, Dylan.
How's it going? What were you just talking about?
We were just talking about that. I was telling folks they need to hang around and tune in because you told me earlier about a special thing.
Yeah.
To do.
So I don't
Tell
know
us about that.
if y'all saw on Twitter, I did a giveaway on Twitter for my first album this week. And I'm going to give away another one on Twitter, another related giveaway similar to that. Except, so we just did, as you just saw, we have musical guests here on Texas Big Star Live. We've had a number of them. We have all those segments up on Texas Big Star Live's YouTube channel. And if I'm going to be giving away a copy of my first album, Cloud Factory, It's Cloud Factory by Gray Sky Symphony. It's my solo project. And if you want to win that, to enter it, all you got to do is go on Twitter and first we'll go to the Texas Big Star Live YouTube, find your favorite musical guest segment or one you liked a lot. We've had a lot of different people that have been really cool. Me and Brian have played. We had Jonah May.
Oh, yeah.
Some other people. Find one you liked a lot. Share it on Twitter. Talk about how the musical guest segment in the show. Make a post about it. Tag Texas Big Star Live. Texas Big Star Live, or just Texas Big Star has a Twitter account. So share a musical guest segment from this show. Tag Texas Big Star, and I'll pick a winner from people that do that to win a copy of my first album sent to you anywhere in the world. That will happen. I'm just now looking at chat too. It is a CD, Hushy.
Hey, hold that up for me.
Cloud Factory. First album came out in 2012.
It's really good.
Cloud Factory.
I think when I come back and play some more songs in a second, I'll play 2 songs off of it that maybe I don't play as much.
Could we maybe get some charter bus seat?
I don't have my ukulele with me today,
right,
so I can't do that one, unfortunately. That is a ukulele song. But I got some other ones I could play off of it. All the tracks are on
How
the
many
back.
instruments do you play there?
See, people always ask me that. I don't know how to answer it. Because sometimes I learn an instrument just for
I do
a
too.
second
Yeah.
to record a
'Cause
certain...
I borrowed your lap steel.
Yeah, stuff like that.
It's
Like,
sitting
I
in
wouldn't
the-
say I
sitting
really
in my
know how to play
studio
lap
across
steel.
the way.
Yeah.
But you can. It's like me. I went, I've never played this. I've never played one.
Yeah.
And I went, oh, okay. You know, and you kind of learn. If you play a stringed instrument, I found that most folks who play a stringed instrument
Yeah.
pick up real fast
Like-
on other stringed instruments.
I was like, if I play guitar, that means I should be able to play bass and ukulele, and like I can't play banjo, but I can pluck a banjo to get
Right.
like a guitar.
Right.
So I don't know.
I had a banjo years ago when I was in high school for a while, and that's where I began to start with a three-finger claw style, Earl Scruggs style, Lester Flatt Earl Scruggs, kind of pioneered the three-finger style, picking a banjo and even 4
Yeah.
for later on. But his was called a claw. It's like an eagle's talon, a claw.
Yeah.
And before then, people had just mostly used the banjo mostly for a strumming.
Oh, really?
A ragtime thing.
It wasn't until later they did all the crazy finger picking.
It wasn't until late. Now, folks were doing it before Earl Scruggs, but he turned it into an art.
Yeah.
And years ago, goodness, almost 100 years ago, probably. Probably close to 80. I mean, Lester Flatt and Earl Scruggs, the Beverly Hillbillies theme. You ever heard?
Yeah, I've
Let's
heard it
do a
before.
story about a man named Jed. He's playing banjo on that. So, and he had been a star for a good number of years before that. But he made it famous, the claw style picking, and which is what a lot of banjo bluegrassers picked up on. So cool. So yeah, folks, let him know what you think, musical guest, and Cloud
Share-
Factory from
yeah.
Gray Sky.
Go to the Texas Big Star Live
Symphony.
YouTube. Find a musical guest segment. There's actually a playlist with all the musical guests we've had. I'm not sure how many total videos we have on there. Probably like, I don't know, upwards of 12 or 15.
Right.
Pick one you like, share it on Twitter, make a post about the show, tag Texas Big Star at Texas Big Star. We have a Twitter account for Texas Big Star. There it is right there. And that'll let us know that you made the post, and I'll pick a winner out of those people. Not only will we win the CD, but I also throw in some stickers and stuff with it too. So
You got stickers?
I got stickers.
What do they say?
I got a Gray Sky Symphony one that's just like a circle that says Gray Sky Symphony.
I've seen that one.
And then a Sloth Time Lord one that has a sloth with sunglasses on and a bunch of instruments behind it.
Hey, Dylan.
Yeah.
They're wanting to know, does it have to be a non-sloth person?
I would lean towards not picking one of mine. You should share other people's stuff. Pick somebody else you like. I mean, if you really want to pick one of mine, you can, but
Yeah.
I would share the other cool ones that are out there.
Right.
Like who'd we have last week on the I wasn't here was or 2 weeks ago.
I think I played some last week, filled in. 2 weeks ago.
It was I forgot his name.
Lucas Cook.
Lucas Cook came back. Yeah.
Lucas. Yep.
Good old Lucas.
So now, yeah, he's got a segment on there with some
Yep.
original songs.
Mm-hmm. I like Lucas.
If you win, can you get a handwritten haiku about squirrels?
If someone does win, can they get a handwritten
I guess I could
haiku
include
about
handwritten haikus
squirrels?
about.
What's the deal with haikus? How many words is it?
575 syllables.
That's right. It's 575. Yeah, in syllables.
It's 5. Wait, what is it?
It's snowing
575.
on Mount Fuji.
575.
I get that, Jake.
Yeah.
How far away? Cool the Fool wants to know how far away we are from San Marcos. Well, let's ask our producer, Matt, who just drove back from that area just less than 48 hours ago.
So what do you want to know?
How far are we right here in the Gap from San Marcos?
I'm going to type
Or you-
it in.
Or you could ask.
Or you could
one of
ask
the people
Jake, who's made
who went
that
to school
drive.
there. I mean,
We
Dylan
could
went
ask
to school
you.
there
You've
too.
been.
Yeah, I actually just drove there last weekend for my brother's graduation in Texas State.
Yeah. How many hours did it take?
It was like 2.5,
164 miles.
164 miles.
2.5, 3 hours drive there.
2.5, 3. And it,
2:15.
2:15.
If
you're doing
Dylan
the
isn't
speed limit.
driving.
Right. If Dylan isn't driving, 2:15. Dylan, you're a safe
What
driver.
does that mean?
That means you're a safe driver.
You're a
I am.
safe
I
driver.
am. Yeah, I drive safe. See,
You're the
I don't-
kind of
I'm
driver
not
that
a-
insurance companies want.
Yeah, I don't drive and get like flat tires sometimes, and
Inside joke. I'm feeling the stare.
so we need to talk about this. We had so me and Jake and JB went on a fun night out last night in Waco.
We played some Magic.
We went to the game shop.
You were about to make it sound like we had like a real cool night out.
It
over
was really
town.
cool. We played Magic the Gathering. We drafted
It was
last
awesome.
night.
It was a nerdy night out for sure.
Yeah, there's a really cool place in Waco that we didn't know about called King's Landing. King's Landing. It's a cool
It's a Game of Thrones
it's a
reference.
nerdy game store / cafe. So it's really cool. They got everything you need.
And Jake had a biscuit
For-
burger.
Sounds like a place to dock your boat.
Yeah. Oh, you mean just the name?
King's Landing.
Yeah. That was like a way to say hang out.
You could? Yeah.
Weird.
But King's Landing is. There's probably other King's Landings that are actually.
Well, it's a reference to Game of Thrones, I believe.
It is.
Yeah.
I don't know. I've never watched Game of Thrones, so I don't know what that's referenced to. But so we hung out and played Magic, and then after that we went to McDonald's, and then we were driving home, and we got a flat tire.
We're just on the highway. Just
Yeah, it just went.
ruptured.
Dylan, you should send me the video. I'll put it up.
The video. I don't have any video.
You took some.
I guess like it's in those to you. I don't know if those would be good, appropriate.
Why not, Dylan?
What?
You have video of the flat tire?
Yeah,
No.
of him fixing it.
Uh-huh.
But yeah, that's what I was joking. It was not Jake's fault. That was a joke. I was picking on Jake. All right.
Cool.
What do we got to move on to? I'm gonna go back
Dylan, thank
over
you.
there. I'll be back with some more music.
Yes, indeed. We'll save a spot for you. All right. Well, folks, today is a couple days before Memorial Day. And for those who may not notice or may not know it, the history of Memorial Day, I believe Jake has pulled something up via the intrawebs about Memorial Day and why it is celebrated. Why it is celebrated and why it is why it's a big deal here in the United States, especially. And there it is. Memorial Day, federal holiday in the United States for remembering people who died while serving in the country's armed forces. It's celebrated the last Monday of May, originated as Decoration Day after the American Civil War in 1868 when the Grand Army of the Republic was founded in Decatur, Illinois. By the 20th century, competing Union and Confederate holiday traditions celebrated on different days had merged, and Memorial Day eventually extended to honor all Americans who had died while in military service. And it's the unofficial start of summer vacation season, and while Labor Day marks the end. And there you have it right there. Last year it was on May 30th, and in 18 and 19 of 20, it will be May 28th next year, and after that, May 27th. So if you are a veteran today, since we won't be broadcasting Monday, we want to say thank you for your service. Thank you for all that you've done for our freedom, protecting it. And if you have someone you know who has passed away in service, we honor their memory also. I am from a family of folks that were in the armed forces. I never had the honor of serving in the armed forces, but my brother was in the Army. My father was in the Navy. My other brother was in the Air Force. That left either Marines or Coast Guard for me. Almost went in the Air Force. Wonder what life would be sometimes if I had done that. I was going to fly jets, And I'd already gotten my pilot's license, private license, so that was going to be a quick step into that. But that never transpired. There were other things that came along, and I didn't do that. So, but we honor our veterans today. We say thank you from TexasBigStar, and thank you for your service. With that said, we're going to move to. I didn't know if it's possible. I spoke a moment ago about Owen and Sandy, the proprietors here of the Horny Toad Bar and Grill right here in Cranfills Gap, Texas. And they had left a video for us. And Jake, is that up and going? Did we have any word from them?
Yeah, we're good to go.
Let's run that. Let's see what that's about. Let's see what Owen and Sandy have to say. There they are.
Uh-oh.
That's a still.
Ready? Okay. We'd like to invite everybody
We
next
got audio?
Saturday, June 3rd, to our crawfish shrimp boil from 12 to 2 across the street from across the street from the Horny Toad. The benefits from this go to Special Olympics Texas. Okay.
Yeah. And we got crawfish gonna be $20, all you can eat.
No. Oh yeah.
Crawfish
sorry.
all you can eat, and you got shrimp for $14 a pound, and eat all you want. It's gonna be good. Steve Sargent and his crew comes in and cooks it.
And we're going to miss our girls this year. Sydney and Haley can't make it, but I know they'll be here in spirit. Miss Sydney graduates this year. But good, both those girls made the Special Olympics team that will be going to Washington next year, so we're really excited for them. We're hoping they can share some information later. Oh, and thanks everybody. Thank you to everybody for our Nikki DeMaio. It was a success. We appreciate what everybody does.
All right.
Couldn't do it without you guys. Okay.
Bye.
That is Owen and Sandy speaking there, and I'm going to assume, I'm pretty sure they were talking about the crawfish and shrimp boil going on next Saturday, and it's right here in this area on 3rd Street, 420 North 3rd Street, right across the street from the Horny Toad. And the crawfish, $20 all you can eat. Crawfish and shrimp, $14 a pound. Now, for those of you who've never eaten crawfish, I believe I have years ago. My brother's a big fan of crawfish. Are you a crawfish guy?
I've actually never had crawfish.
Never had
before,
crawfish?
surprisingly.
You crawfish guy?
I've had it.
Yeah.
I kind of had good experiences and less.
Yeah. My brother always talks about sucking brains and tails.
Yeah, that's the
But
thing.
he's my brother.
Yeah. Why I came over was
You've
not
met my brother, haven't you?
I've met both
my
of
older
them.
brother. Yeah.
I've met both of them.
You've met both of them. Yeah.
But what I was going to say is that in that video, I know you couldn't hear what they were saying, but I shot it, and they were just on their way out of town, and I wanted them to say. But the thing she adds to the end is that the Nikki Covers the Cold event we had recently.
Right.
I think they said they raised like $4,000.
Yeah.
So they were very happy about that and very appreciative, and I just wanted to let everybody know. They were saying thank you, and when you were part of that, you sang.
Oh yeah, me and Lucas
yeah.
did some songs and
so that was
kept
kind of
people
fun.
entertained. But this is also part of Nikki Warms the Cold.
Exactly, and they confirmed that they help people a number of different capacities, but from a location standpoint, like from the Dallas area all the way down I-35 through Central Texas, down all the way as far south as San Antonio.
Yep.
Even though I believe Nikki was originally spending a lot of time in the Austin area, but they do a lot of different kinds of things, not just the clothing. So
yes,
but
they do.
She was just super appreciative, and I just wanted to make sure that made it in there since you didn't get to actually hear it. So
well, thank you for letting us know.
But I'm not a big crawfish guy. I mean, like I said, I've had some that were really good.
It's yummy.
But here's the thing. Generally
like
speaking, it's kind of a messy process.
It is you have to crack them, and you've got to suck the meat out. You've got to really be a fan of
that's the reason why I like
that process.
lobster.
Lobster's a little larger to work with. I mean, a crawfish, for those who don't know, a crawfish is like a miniature lobster. Freshwater, creek, river, lake.
Yeah,
I used to catch them as a kid, man. I can tell you stories of just finding them and make good fish bait.
I think maybe I'm just
bass love them.
Maybe a little lazy or something, because it seems like a lot of work for not a lot of food.
For not a lot of food, yeah.
So
once you get it down to an art, it's like watching some sort of streamlined, conveyor belt thing, just like a factory. when my brother eats them anyway. It's like a factory.
Like I said, there's just different types of people, and I think that takes a little fun out of it.
Well, the crawfish and shrimp boil next Saturday, benefiting Special Olympics.
Yep.
And Miss Haley, the young lady who attends the crawfish shrimp boil and shares her Special Olympic activities with us, will be playing tennis in the 2018 Special Olympic USA Games in Seattle, Washington. Wow, Miss Sydney was also chosen. So close to 150 athletes were chosen to represent Team Texas in that event. So this is going to benefit them probably on their trip, and we want to be part of that and help out any way we can. That's pretty cool.
Yep.
Dude, Owen and Sandy just they give and give and give and give. And I almost think that the Horny Toad is a front for a nonprofit organization. Is that such a thing? Because there's nothing illegal with that. I mean, it's kind of the wrong terminology, but it's true. I mean, it's like they have a restaurant simply as an excuse to just give things to people and benefit other people all the time, and that's what they spend their lives doing, and running a restaurant. But
Yep.
they're just very loving, giving people, and we love them. They're special folks to us.
But while we were talking about that, I thought of another joke.
Brace yourselves, folks.
Uh-oh.
Are you an atom that lost an electron? Go to www.impositive.com.
Already said turn the mic off.
He's going to have his own segment of the show. JB's jokes. And we'll just keep him over there and just turn the camera around onto him. And it's joke time, everybody. Kind of like Larry Bud. Larry Bud, that's awesome. That's how my brain thinks. Is it me, or is the humidity in here risen about 60% in the last 30 minutes?
Maybe.
You guys feeling the...
I can kind of feel it.
Are you smelling what I'm throwing at you? What's the terminology there? Lord, you smell what the rock's cooking, and then are you picking up what's being thrown down? What you're laying down? Yeah. Those of you in the Twitch chat room, feel free to come up with your own cliche saying and mix those two. Are you smelling what I'm throwing at you? That's my... Well, you might be.
And I just thought of another one. What's brown and sticky?
Ooh. Artemidorus, you are not free to chat and comment. And go.
A stick.
What do you do? What do you do?
Exactly. There's nothing to do.
What's brown and sticky is a stick. Sticks. It's very sticky looking.
I'm going back to something that was earlier on the chat, like way up there.
Okay.
We were talking about Marianne was talking. She put a bunch of stuff on there that I saw that about the shrimp we were eating when we were in Indonesia that were huge. They're prawn like size of.
Oh yeah.
Those are worth the extra work.
The shrimp, the largest shrimp. That's an old George Carlin joke. What's a big shrimp?
And I was coming over to tell you that we have
Not ready yet.
No.
No?
This is our friend in India. Can you hear us?
Hold on.
Oh, he's working on
there.
it.
He's getting there.
We're not ready.
All right, we're not ready. Sorry. He's trying to...
I was saying some of the largest shrimp I've ever had was on a senior trip to Acapulco, I believe. And at this cabana, the whole senior class went to someone owned it, and they just let us stay there for 3 or 4 days. These were huge shrimp. I mean...
Prawn?
Yeah. It was...
Is that the definition of big shrimp?
That is for me.
Yeah, pretty much.
I kind of, it's either shrimp. No, you had a prawn. That's different. But aren't we all prawns in a big game? Hey, hey.
Alex Carrot. What was Alex's last name? The football player in Blazing Saddles.
Oh, the actual dude?
Yeah, Alex.
Oh no, that was
Harris. Alex.
He does that thing. We are just pawn.
In the Game of Life.
Mongo just pawned in Game of Life.
Okay, let's try it now.
All right, there he is. Can you hear us now?
Hi. Yeah.
All right. Tell everybody who you are, because you're not the guest we're supposed to have.
Okay. Hi, I'm Manoj from India.
Yeah.
So this is my second time participating with y'all.
Yeah. Damano, right?
Yeah, Manoj.
Now tilt it down so we have less of your. We need for.
Yeah.
Mono.
That's fine.
Gotcha.
So
Mono.
I was telling you that we were talking about a lot of music today, and you have a band. Is that correct?
Yeah. I'm part of a band called 204.
And what do you guys do?
We've talked about them before.
Yeah, I know. We've talked about them.
204.
Yeah. Last time with Pradeep.
Yeah.
So we are a band who's placed in Ooty, and we mostly play in schools and colleges. We perform there, and we also have a program going on which we call it the Bakes and Blues. That's because we have a lot of people who bake here, so it's kind of a sale and a music concert together.
Very good. When was your last gig?
Not very long. 2 months back.
Right. So
you should pull up some video.
Earlier today we were talking. We're starting a singer-songwriter competition under our Music Quest property, and if you haven't checked out Music Quest, we're going to have more and more stuff on that across the summer. But the question I have for you is: are you a singer-songwriter? Do you write the music, or do you do all covers?
We do covers mostly. We haven't come to the point of having our own music yet, but we are still working on it. But we do covers, like few songs from the band called Striper.
Oh, really?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, Striper and Petra.
So you're talking Christian rock and roll.
Yeah.
All right, there you go.
Yeah.
Do you ever do any Larry Norman?
No.
Do you know who Larry Norman is?
No.
He was the predecessor to the.
He's the guys that Petra and Striper listened to.
1969, his first album.
He's the original Jesus rocker guy.
Yeah. So your Petra songs.
No,
do you do songs when Greg Voltz was still singing with Petra?
No.
Yeah.
It was only when Johnny Slit was.
John Slit. Yeah. Okay.
All right.
Yeah, John Slit.
Well, I didn't realize that. I thought you guys were just a blues rock and roll type thing. I didn't know that you.
It is.
Okay, well, yeah, I know. Yeah, it's based in that.
Do you also know the band called Switchfoot?
Oh, sure.
Oh, sure. Yeah, we know Switchfoot.
Yeah, so we play a few songs of Switchfoot, and there's a very old band called PFR.
Sure. Pray for Rain.
Yeah, Pray for Rain. So we do a few
them.
of their songs also.
Yeah.
Okay, so I here's the thing. Our guest didn't make it today, and I was just kind of chatting around on Facebook and invited a couple of people that I saw were online, and you were just online, and you made the mistake of actually replying to me on Facebook, and then look what happened. So you got your iPad working? Is that what it is?
Yeah, now it's currently the iPad which is being connected.
All right. Well, I mean, it's working, man. I mean, you never know. It's just, I appreciate it when anybody's just willing to give it a shot. Sometimes it doesn't work. Sometimes it does.
Yeah.
And when I heard it when it was music, then I had a second thought to it.
Very good. Have you watched any of the music stuff that we have online? I mean, we don't have a whole lot on yet, but we have some.
Yeah, I did. I think it was your son who was playing some blues. No, some jazz.
I don't know. Jake, we have anything on? Have you seen it?
I have no idea. Jazz?
On your website? No.
On my website.
Now, there's a lot of websites. We'd have to figure out which one it is. But
okay.
It's
this
all right.
This is the one which you had sent me earlier.
Oh man, I don't remember what I sent you. I'm sorry.
Come on.
I'm sorry, man.
Okay. Oh, by the way, I just finished my practicing game. for tomorrow Sundays.
Oh, okay. So what time is it there?
It's 11:30 p.m.
All right, it's still Saturday, barely.
Yeah. So I can mention tomorrow.
All right.
That's Sunday.
See, from looking at it, I thought he was outside.
Yeah,
It looked like he was outside against the wall.
I'm inside the room. I'm inside a room with bright lights.
Yeah. Yep.
I was thinking it was daylight over there, but that makes a lot more sense.
Yeah, it's a little late. So, when are you going to play tomorrow in church? Is that what you said you were doing?
Yes.
All right, man. So is it the actual band that plays at church, or do you play with other people on Sundays?
No, we actually have too many musicians, so it's like two teams. So band is a team who comes for regular practices and all these things, but worship team is people who are able to join on Sunday. They come on Saturday for practice.
Nice.
Sure. So
yeah. So we also have a jam pad here where it's put all the instruments are set, so people can come and jam anytime when they want to.
very good, bud. All right. So I think your video locked up. You and I were talking about whether or not your connection was going to be good enough to stream, and it was working really, really well. There you came back.
Yeah.
Good job. So tell everybody where you're located. You don't have to get like too specific. I don't want to be a problem, but where are you located right now?
The place, you mean?
Yeah, the city. The city. Okay. India's big place.
It's a town called Ooty, which is a hill station in South India.
Okay, South India.
Yeah, it's called the Queen of Hills.
Very good. South India generally has more Christians in it than North India. Is that correct?
Yeah, it does.
Well, very good, man. I just, like I said, we've been very lucky on our show that we've been able to connect with so many people internationally. When we actually, get it scheduled, generally speaking, we've been able to have more guests than not. And so I'm thinking through it. We probably only had, this is our 30th show, I think.
Is it now?
Is it? I think it's 30.
Is it?
And I don't think maybe 3 or 4 times, maybe less, maybe only 2 or 3 times has it worked out where our scheduled guest wasn't able to make it. And when you think about it, that's pretty incredible.
It is pretty amazing.
Because the whole thing, we're doing this on a shoestring and a prayer. I mean, the technology is inexpensive, and we're using whatever people have, and the fact that it works at all is still just a little amazing to me. Even though I technically understand how it works, it's still magic.
Okay. That's nice. That's nice. Something to hear. Nice.
So we want you to check out our Music Quest channel if you haven't, and help us figure some stuff out, man. Watch what we're doing and give us some ideas, because in the end, I would really like Music Quest to be more than just Texas artists. And not talking down Texas artists, but the idea that I'd really like to have more of an international feel when we're all said and done. Right. And international artists, international musicians have to be in tune with what we're doing and then contribute at some point. And if you have ideas, you need to let me know so we can work on that. Is that cool?
Yeah, sure. Yeah, no problem.
Very, very good.
I would love to do that.
Well, when's the last time you saw Pradeep?
He's actually not in town for a few months, probably.
I've been watching him on Facebook. He's a mobile guy.
Yeah, he's gone to Bangalore. He's gone to a place called Bangalore, which is quite far from here. And he's been there for some time now.
Well, I saw a picture of him and his father, and they were talking about, they were sporting their new haircuts that they got for like a few pennies. Pretty short haircut. Yeah. Pradeep has that like rock and roll groovy hair, and now he has less of it.
Yeah.
We're talking about a guy's haircut on international chat. Is this exciting or what, JB?
Well, the internet likes everything, so it's good.
Except your jokes.
Hey, they like the jokes.
Yeah.
So I'm curious, does anybody on the live chat right now have any questions for our friend Mano in India? A musician, you heard a little bit about him. Any questions for our friend? because that's the whole idea, is that we get to connect people that might not connect otherwise. Oh, come on, Artemidoros. I always screw up his name.
That's right, Artemidoros.
We're reading the chat thing, so give us a second.
Yeah.
So how long did it take you? Did you download the application or on the iPad, or is it?
I just went into the Google Chrome, but it said you need an app for it, so I just didn't get it. Okay, fine, just get it.
So it's no big deal. It worked pretty well.
Yeah, it does, but sometimes your video is getting stuck a little bit.
Right.
But that's fine. I'm able to hear you clearly, so.
That's good. Like I said, the thing is that we use this particular program because we can afford it, and it allows 3 or 4 people to be on simultaneously without paying extra money.
Right.
So it's pretty cool.
That's cool. That's nice.
So tell us about, one of the questions we just got is, tell us about wireless providers as far as getting on the internet. What is it like to get on the internet there? Is it everywhere? Are there certain companies that do it? Just what's the easiest way to get on the internet where you're located, bud?
Okay. Here, especially in the hill station where we live, the internet is pretty bad. And in very few places, you get very good internet. And currently, I'm not in one of those places. So...
Well, you tried it and it works. Like, so we can hear you. The video kind of stops every so often, but you're coming through fine on audio.
Yeah. Even for me, the audio is good, but the video is stuck. But that's fine.
Yeah, well, we're a beautiful group, and we are not looking much different from moment to moment.
Yeah. So it really doesn't matter. Okay, so yeah, as I said, mostly this is a forest area, so many of the forests don't have good signals for the phone or for internet. So it's quite difficult getting proper internet connection everywhere you go. Only in selected places you get good internet.
So are you on a personal friends one? Are you on a church one? What kind of connection are you on right now? That's, like I said, it may not be perfect, but it's working.
This is a personal connection.
Yeah.
So it's your house?
Yeah, it's at my house.
Okay, cool. What do you think, JB? You got any questions? Do you know this guy? Do you remember when he was on before?
I don't actually remember too well.
Yeah, he was on with 2 guys. He was on with Pradeep. Yeah. You guys were on at the same time. Were y'all on the same? You were at Pradeep's place, weren't you?
We had a sleepover that night. So anyway, we had a show also to do. So I went to Pradeep's place and we did the show together.
All right, yeah. I think it was you, Pradeep, and Mel Gibson, right?
Yeah,
wait, I remember
Mel
that
Gibson
now.
was sitting right behind me.
Mel Gibson on their shoulder.
Okay, I do remember that.
Yeah, you remember that. Okay.
Yeah. I think he was a bit upset also, so he had this frowning face.
Braveheart poster.
Hey, buddy, I appreciate you getting on. Said if you ever have something to talk about music-wise, or it doesn't have to be music, anything, you know how to get a hold of me. And I know it's it's late there, but it's nice to always have at least one guest on, and it's nice that I knew for a long time it would take a while to have had enough people on the show where they have an idea when I ask them what, because like you didn't know we were doing this until a few minutes ago. Yeah. But the fact that we had you on one time before, it made it easier for you to know what you were getting into. So that makes it more fun.
Yeah. So that's why I thought, okay, let me do it, because I've already been in the show and I know you people. So I was more comfortable with that.
Yeah. Thank you so much for being willing to do that. So cool. I've stepped in, I've gotten myself into trouble before, but I know sometimes it's not something that people joke about, but is it okay for me to point out the fact that my friend from India came through for me and the friend from Pakistan didn't? Because there's like a rivalry between Pakistan and India.
I think
a little bit. Is that true?
There might be, from what I see on the news occasionally.
No, you're free to do that. You can go ahead with that.
That's what I thought. Well, I have to get hold of our buddy, Mr. Habib, and show him this part of the video and say, hey, look at this guy from India. He came through. So now, see, the problem is I hope he's okay, because if something bad happened to him, I'm going to feel really, really bad when I find out.
No.
So,
there's nothing bad going to happen. So you can go ahead with that.
You're sending out good vibes. I appreciate that.
Yeah.
All right, we're going to let you
how
go,
was
buddy.
Your show?
Say what?
Okay. No, how's your show been going?
Today's been awesome.
I'm going to let Brian answer that.
I think we've had, we've had such a well-rounded discussion, and via our Twitch chat and our guests, the music.
Mm-hmm.
Of course, Dylan's going to come back and do a couple more songs in just a moment, but it's been one of those days where we just kind of go, hey, let's see what happens.
It's laid back.
Okay.
Not unlike all the other shows.
Yeah,
but I mean, we have a plan, and you stick with the plan, and when it works, that's great. When it doesn't work, something else will work.
Just keep going.
Yeah,
just keep going.
Yeah.
You work through it.
We're just like
So last
the little
time I
engine
remember
that
when I was on the show, there were a few bikers who had come outside your bar.
Oh, there's a lot of bikers here today. It's Memorial Day weekend, which is a 3-day extra long weekend for us. And there are probably more bikers actually wearing leather and sporting, what do you call those? Patches?
Well, yeah, your biker vest that
All the
delineate
sport
where
kits,
you're from and who you're
you can
with,
see some in the
patches and
background
stuff like
maybe
that.
there. And so there are a lot here, but as for today, that particular group of people has opted out of being on the show.
Okay.
So far.
We've invited them. Yeah. We've definitely invited them. But, you never know.
It is what it is.
All right, buddy. Thank you for being with us. And you get some sleep, and we'll see you again sometime, okay?
Yeah, sure. Thank you so much for inviting me.
Thanks, Mono. See you.
Thank you, sir. Bye-bye.
Thank you, everyone. Thank you so much.
All right, I feel better now.
Good.
I like talking to somebody who's in a different place on the planet.
Yeah.
Just makes me happy.
But now I have a question for the table.
Okay.
How do you make?
It would be for me or the table.
Both.
Okay. I'll speak for me and let the table respond.
All right. How do you make holy water?
I know the answer to this one, but no. How do you make holy water?
You just boil the hell out of it.
That's an old one. Anybody?
An oldie but a goodie.
Oh, yes, sir.
And you can send those threats to tell me to stop at my email at email.com.
My email at email.com. Wisdom, JB's jokes. JB has a plethora of jokes. And I have a list of things to do. We had our friend who wasn't our friend from Pakistan, but our friend from India that shows up. So really and truly, we are on the backside, maybe coming out of turn number 3, about to begin turn number 4. That is a NASCAR reference, and today that's happening. Charlotte, North Carolina is having its NASCAR event. For those of you who are not involved in that or care, that's okay. But for some people in the South, that is a big deal.
It is a very big deal.
It's a big deal. So JB, now is a good time. I'm feeling a good time. If Dylan is available to come back and grace us with some artistic renderings, some musical meanderings, some thoughtful tales. Thoughtful tales. Yeah, I'm just looking for alliteration at this point. Yeah. Some
tantalizing tunes.
Yeah, some of his own beatitudes from the bard himself. He's over there plugging things in. We do have a good crowd that's rolling in and some rolling out.
It is a very healthy day today at the bar.
Yeah, here at the Toad, there's a lot of activity going on. And Dylan is looking for a pick. Yeah. Do you have a pickpocket? I've got a pickpocket. It's the extra jean, a little pocket in the jeans. in the right-hand side. That's where I find picks there all the time. They go through the wash. They're clean. They're still there. For those of you who are musicians, you know, it's that extra little pocket on the right side. Great pickpocket.
Fun fact, that tiny pocket is actually used for pocket watches.
Yeah.
That's what it's for.
That
Well,
is
I
what
think
it's for.
originally back in the Old West, for the Levi's anyway.
Yeah, back whenever, I guess not denim. Is it denim?
Yeah.
Denim was
now
a-
it's denim and stretchy fabric and spandex, but
Yeah, that was very popular with the working class.
Mm-hmm.
And so they needed to be able to tell time.
Sorry, Matt.
Speaking of working class, there's our producer's Adam's apple.
Okay, so there's a button that you hit to make sure that the things come up at the right times on the software, and I accidentally forgot to turn one off, so it was just a close-up of Matt's face.
I just realized
Did you
right
forget
now,
the time?
watching Jake explain that, if our viewing audience could not hear what he's saying, I would love to do a bad lip read of just that 10 seconds he was on. He was out. It's not what's going on, but mostly it's just meat and potatoes for me. But that guy's Stinky
just
Pete,
walking
and he's
out.
out the door. But you, it's volleyball.
Where's the cheese?
Let's take off of here. I've got plenty of those.
I don't even know
Got
why
a
I
beard
worked
the size of Texas.
My beard is not the size of Texas. It just isn't.
It's getting there, man. It's growing.
This side is okay.
Yeah.
What the heck is this?
That
it's not going well.
comes with grooming. You have to shave that and shave it for years, and then it grows back.
Okay, years. I was like, it's been like 6 months, but
Yeah, I have to keep mine trimmed all the time. And well, Captain, what you looking at over there?
Trying to decide which songs to play.
It's great. What other show can you go? Hey, here's our musical guest, and let's cut to him.
a CD.
And what are you doing over there? I'm just reading to see what song I want to do now. I can't think of any other regular show that would have that.
That would be awesome if, like at a big concert, somebody walked on stage with their own CD.
All right. Oh yeah. Bruno Mars. You get a close up and he's looking at his CD, going, "I don't know, man."
Like, which song should I play off of this CD? Talking
Well,
about us at the merch table.
You guys remember this one? Let's do it.
Well, see, I used to do it with my first album because I forget about a lot of these songs because they're old.
You could do The Loser, Alone.
I think I got two. I'll probably do. I think I do. But I'm gonna play two songs off the CD, which I'll be giving away a copy of, in case you didn't hear that earlier. Stick around to hear how you can win it if you were not here earlier, and I'll tell you again. But we're gonna play a song called "Shiver" off of that CD.
Shiver.
Slow down a bit. I can't keep up with your pace. I feel like I've been hit. And every time I see your face, and let me know if I should go. And I cannot stand to see you so cold. So take my hand and I won't let go. Give me a sign that everything's alright. And tell me when the time comes, will I know that it is here? And if I'm wrong, then pull the trigger. And leaning close because the night is cold, my dear. And I can't have you shiver. Oh no. Oh, oh. And I can't go back. And I hate our goodbyes. Draw me a map, 'cause I'm lost in your eyes. And give me a sign that it's all alright. Tell me when the time comes, will I know that it is here? And if I'm wrong, then pull the trigger. And leaning close because the night is cold, my dear. And I can't have you shiver. Oh no. And oh, oh. Oh, 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 oh. And listen to the sound of my heart beating. This icy chill's got me a quiver. But all I hear is what you whisper in my ear. You say, don't you shiver? Oh no. Oh, oh. Oh. Oh.
Yeah, thank you. Thanks. That one's called Shiver.
Shiver.
Shiver. And then the next one's kind of the opposite. A song called Melt, which is the opposite of cold and shivering. It has to be hot in order for you to melt because of physics, basic science. That's my in-between song banter. Let's look at chat a little bit.
You don't have a song called like Lukewarm Water, do you?
What's that?
You have something in between song like Tepid Water.
I get it.
Tepid Waters. It's a good title for a song.
He doesn't, but he has a song, If I Was Cold.
If I Was Cold, yeah. I have a whole EP about weather-themed, cold weather-themed songs.
I'm digging on that.
But yeah.
Except for the underdog.
I saw somebody asking for a Matricula song. I don't have that one memorized. They were asking for the song I did for the Twitch song swap that we did recently.
Yeah.
But I don't know the one at the moment. I'm not sure what's going on over here.
So long.
All right.
Thanks.
This song's called Melt. I'm going to play it. This is a Snowman love song.
Remember all those nights when we sat in the rain and you'd whisper my name, whisper my name. It's hard to find 'cause things never stay the same. Everything will change, everything will change. But hold on tight and I'll never let you go. I just thought you should know, I thought you should know. I got all this time, but I've nowhere to go. let's just take it slow. And let's just take it slow. And stay here for a while. Because my dear, you make me smile. And when you look at me, I melt away. I melt away. What can I say? And then it gets hard to breathe. Never felt this way. Never felt this way. Ba 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 da ba ba da ba 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 da ba 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 da ba 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 da ba ba da ba 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 da ba 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 da ba ba ba. I'll be the compass if you will be the map, and we'll find our way back. We'll find our way back. Through every valley, through every sidewalk crack. I'll keep you on track, and you'll keep me on track. But let's stay here for a while. And because my dear, and you make me smile. And when you look at me, I melt away. I melt away. What can I say? And then it gets hard to breathe. Never felt this way. Never felt this way. And when you're close to me, everything's okay. Everything's okay. Well, it's all in its right place. So stay with me. Don't go away. Well, don't go away. Woo! Look at me, I melt away. I melt away. What can I say? Then it gets hard to breathe. Never felt this way. Never felt this way. And when you're close to me, everything's okay. Everything's okay. Well, it's all in its right place. So stay with me. Don't go away. Well, don't go away. Ba 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 da ba ba da ba 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 da ba 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 da ba 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 da ba ba da ba 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 da ba 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 da ba ba.
Thank you. Thanks, y'all.
Dylan, Sloth Time Lord, Captain D. All those things. And the chats are pouring in.
Yeah, thanks, y'all.
Stephanie Jones Music says, "Don't go away."
So, fun fact, Stephanie Jones Music has covered that song before on her music channel.
Isn't that something?
We exchange originals sometimes.
Stephanie, are you still planning on coming to see us here? She'll just answer that in your own sweet time. You don't have to.
Takes a couple seconds because of the delay.
Yeah, there's Twitch delay.
Heck to the yes.
Yes.
Well, good. That's good to hear. We'd love to be a proper host and host you properly here.
And Hushy and Tex.
And Hushy and Tex.
And Alfie.
Hushy's going to be coming in too, and Alfie and.
In
fact, all you guys.
We should take him to Waco to that store. It'd be fun.
Heck yeah.
Dude. Yeah.
All of us.
Because all of y'all are nerds that are coming. Y'all
Take
enjoy
him to
it,
the
you nerds.
pier there at the King's
We can
Landing.
introduce Tex to a new level of nerddom. because he plays games with us, but I don't know if he's into the.
Texas like that place.
Oh, maybe.
Well, maybe. I guess I can't speak for everybody, but you guys are on Twitch, so you're automatically nerds. No offense. It is a video game streaming website.
Are you going to render something else, or are you done for the day?
Do one more if y'all are up for it.
Do the cover. Do the cover.
Do what?
That cover. That
Which
you played
one?
Earlier. The one on the guitar.
I can't play that one.
Oh.
I can't sing that one.
I'll come sing it.
I don't know all the lyrics either. I don't think I have any of those songs memorized. We could have chat vote on something and do a little interaction.
Okay.
If y'all have an original or a cover you want to hear that y'all know I know.
And while they're doing that, I have a little story to tell.
Story. All right.
All right. So, have you guys heard about the mushroom and the moss that took a liking to each other?
The mushroom and the moss that took a liking to each other.
Liking.
Yeah. Things were going great for a while, but then
That's not the joke.
Now their marriage is kind of on the rocks. I mean, I don't understand it. He was a real fun guy.
That was 3 jokes. That was 3 jokes in one.
That's really good.
Woo! You know, you can't beat this anywhere within this area. Probably a good 3 square block area. You can't find entertainment better than this.
Anytime.
Those were now. Where are you getting those jokes from?
Well, that last one
head.
were jokes that I've heard before, but I mashed them all together.
You
into
did?
a storyline.
Really?
Now,
Those
see,
weren't
now-
all together already?
No, they weren't.
I'd never heard them
Those
all
go
back
very
to
well
back
together.
like that. Yeah.
So Dylan, they want to hear Buddy Holly.
Yeah, these sound good. These are all ones I've played on the show before, but I think we could do Buddy Holly.
He said, "Cool" is saying any original.
I already played 3 originals. We'll do Buddy Holly. That's a fun one to end on.
There you go.
It's got some energy. Hopefully I know all the lyrics. We'll see.
I'm gonna tell you how it's gonna be. You're gonna give your love to me. I'm gonna love you night and day. Well, you know my love, it won't fade away. Love that's real and not fade away. And my love's bigger than a Cadillac. Try to show it to you, but you drive me back. Your love for me has got to be real. For me to show you just how I feel. Love that's real and not fade away. I'm gonna tell you how it's gonna be. You're gonna give your love to me. I'm gonna love you night and day. You know my love, it won't fade away. Love that's real and not 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 fade
I was trying to come right in front of the camera.
That made it
Pretty
even
awkward.
better that you were trying that. That's awesome. The captain. I see that.
Thanks for listening, y'all. Back
Wonderful.
to our little our co-hosts here.
Wonderful. Dylan, thank you.
do my thing again.
Yeah. Come on over and do the thing.
So those first two songs were songs off of my first album, Cloud Factory, which you can win this copy of it, along with some other goodies. If you go to Texas Big Star Live's YouTube channel, there's links down below. Go to the musical guest playlist, find your one you like a lot, share it on Twitter, tag Texas Big Star, and after the show, I'll be picking a winner to win this CD. And yeah, so if you're interested in that, you can do it. You can win
awesome.
it. You can make it happen. It could be yours.
It could be yours.
Oh, we have a guest.
And we have Russ.
Russ
is in the house.
Hey. How are you guys? Haven't seen you in a while.
It's been, well, a couple of weeks maybe?
I think it's a little more than that, but yeah, it's about
maybe 3 weeks, something like that. Oh man, it's good to see you. What are you up to?
Good to see you too, guys. Well, I got some good news today. I finally passed my driving exam.
That's
Not
awesome.
that I cannot drive. I've been driving since age of 20. But now that I moved to this other country, I have to have a local driver's license, and I started working on it for since 2nd of April, and I almost got it, and then I had to pass it again. So anyways, it's a big thing. It's a big deal. I passed all the exams, so in 10 days I'm supposed to have a driver's license. Never thought it's going to be such a big deal. Oh, let me turn that on.
So you've been working on a driver's license for 6 weeks now.
Pretty much, yes. First you have to do the theory, and then you have to do the yard, different figures, backing up and stuff like that. And then you have to go to the city. You have to go to the real traffic with the instructor. Oh, man. But I finally did it. So that's good.
Well, that's great. Congratulations.
I think you and I were talking about the idea of an international driver's license.
Yes.
And how that's supposed to work everywhere.
It doesn't work everywhere, apparently.
Well, actually, it doesn't work a lot of places, because anytime you're someplace where the local authorities have never seen one of those,
right,
they're going to act as if they've never seen one of those.
Like a cow staring at a new gate.
Yeah, they say you can drive it internationally, but not locally. Not.
Yeah, that means internationally away from where you are now.
Yeah.
Just see the logic in that.
Oh,
that means not here. International.
In this nation, you have to have a national one. Internationally, you can drive international one. So, I don't know. It's idiocracy, what do you call it?
Yeah,
we got this license, gonna fix everything.
You haven't seen that movie yet, right?
Not yet.
Yeah, he's doing. He's doing one of the characters right there. He was.
I know times are hard.
Cool.
So you said there was a big. One of the things that was kind of driving your desire to get this paperwork in place is that there's a big event coming up, and you may be.
So you were
driving
steering towards that event in your mind. You wanted to make sure and prepare yourself and not hit the brakes on that event.
Actually, I have to drive some participants of that event on
I see.
Company's car. Yeah,
right.
It's a Confederation Cup. It's called, or Cup of Confederation, whatever. It has nothing to do with the rebels, though.
It's a different kind of federation.
Yeah. It's kind of like a prequel of Championship. Like before they have a championship, a national championship, they have to have a Cup of Confederation, and then next year they're gonna have a World Cup series for soccer in this city and 4 more cities in Russia. I mean, 4 altogether. So there's this company that hires some people with knowledge of English and Russian. So I applied for that, and they said you can drive some people. It was interesting. They said, hey, we'll have to test your English skills. So, they took me to this room and there was this lady there and she just said, say something. Just, talk about something in English. And it took me about 20 seconds. That's enough. Okay, all right. We'll take you to the VIPs. So, yeah, it's fun.
You never know. You might pick up a translation job out of the whole thing.
Sure.
Yeah.
Why is this guy driving? We need him to do something else.
He needs to follow somebody around like C-3PO.
So you've known me long enough that I'm going to change topics on you just immediately. That shirt you have on, the striped blue and white shirt.
Yeah.
That reminds me of like
Russian Navy?
A Russian Navy shirt. Is that right?
Yeah.
Do you remember?
The paratroopers and Navy.
Yeah. See, I remember the very, very first time I met you, years and years and years ago. You had this kind of turtleneck sweater on, and I swear, every time you talked, I felt like I was watching a character stepping off the sub from Hunt for Red October.
Oh, man.
Always.
Not K-19 or whatever.
Yeah, another one. There's a bunch of them.
Yeah.
Uh-huh. Yeah.
We were in Sundance Film Festival out in Utah, and there was a short. No, yeah, it was a short. We saw a short by a guy that was one of the directors there, and man, it was about Russian sub crew. And it was, it was super powerful. It was the content was not PG, but it was very, very, very powerful. And there's a lot of compelling stuff on Russian subs. I don't know what it is about them. They just have this mystique. But when I saw that shirt, I thought about that.
Yeah. There's a joke about what do you call zebra in some parts of Central Asia? You call donkey the sailor because they have, those stripes. It's kind of like a play of words, but yeah.
Yeah, my
It
favorite.
doesn't work always. Yeah.
Yeah, my favorite is trying to explain certain kinds of jokes. A lot of jokes. There's some that work in any language.
There's some that just don't translate.
Do not translate at all.
Yeah, I understand.
Like
it's
actually,
trying to fit like a square object into the round hole or the other way around.
Right. Kind of like trying to fit a screen within a screen kind of thing.
Yeah.
Like I actually know a pun that works in English, Spanish, and French.
And what is it?
The pun in English, because I can't remember the Spanish or the French version, is where do cats go when they die? They go to purgatory. It works in French and in Spanish.
Well, bring it on, man.
I don't.
For those of you traveling to
Just trust
France
us.
or Spain, you've got some ammo to get you through or maybe beat up on a bus.
Yeah, try that.
I feel like
see
the
what
lather
happens.
is what's about to happen.
You're going to take JB with us. He's going to be our ambassador to Spain and France.
Oh, man. So,
I want a video of that.
do you have any favorite mistranslated phrases?
Yeah.
Do you have any
Ooh, this
stories
ought to be
for
good.
us? I mean,
Oh yeah.
tell us a couple.
Okay, in the very early ages of the, what do you call it? We call it a machine translation, okay, or computer translation.
Right.
I was at this college, and we had to do tons of translation. So one of our colleagues, she got this new software. It was like kind of like a Google Translate, pretty much.
Yeah.
And so there were different exams that we had to go through in order to pass, certain course. And there was one of them was called, final exam, and it translated as autopsy. So,
Autopsy?
yeah, final exam. That was one of them. What else?
Well, I mean, in some cases, that is the final exam.
Yeah, that would be it.
Yeah. Before they take you to the crematorium or something. I don't know. There were some other examples, but I'll remember them later.
That's
maybe.
fine, man. I put you on the spot. That was a good one. You
That was a
delivered.
good one.
You delivered.
Thanks.
So I told you. I mean, I think we've talked about this before. You've made this joke, kind of give me a hard time, and it's all good because I deserve it. But I was telling you earlier on chat that I thought of you just recently because they had a blowout on one of our cars last night, and my wife just drove off on the little donut, the little spare tire.
We thought of Russ.
And I thought of you, man. Tell everybody why I thought of you, huh?
Well, because whenever something is not working, Matt is like, "Hey, are you available for the video conference?"
When we cannot connect to anyone in the universe,
it's like,
we go to Russ.
I'm really good for like racing 150 kilometers an hour, but I will do for a short one.
No, that's not the point at all.
Kidding.
No, that's not fair. Yeah.
I'm just giving you a hard time.
Yeah, if you're going to go with that analogy, it would be the equivalent of taking our Porsche to drive down the street to our mailbox. Just really underutilized.
Like a baseball analogy. Listen, we're in a tight spot. You better put in Russ because he's going to get on base.
Hey, Russ, just so you know, as soon as you came on the screen, we had 2 or 3 people on chat say, "Hey,
yeah,
it's
they
our
recognize.
Russian friend."
They recognize Russ.
And that's what we're going for, man. That's what we're going for.
Thanks.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Hopefully, I'm showing a positive image of a Russian friend.
Yeah. I'm pretty sure. I'm pretty sure we need to show you to a lot of people.
We may have something
We
here.
have something here.
TexasBigStar, building bridges, mending political injuries, making a new tomorrow, and a new fellowship between the East and the West, and that could happen right here. I believe that strongly in my heart.
So
you sounded serious.
He just got all serious on us.
The moment you throw Bill Clinton, it's over.
So how's that jet from Donald Trump doing?
Speaking of, that is true. We
that's when I had a
in all
Kyrgyzstan.
seriousness,
Your friend from Kyrgyzstan got those bikers on, and they got a heater from the president of their country.
Yeah.
And you asked for Donald Trump for jet.
President Trump. Yeah.
Yeah. Sorry. At the time, he wasn't president.
Yeah, he was.
He was?
I think so. Yeah.
I don't remember when that happened.
Yeah, I was just saying because of the international relations we have with Texas Big Star Live and growing, it seems to be we're reaching other countries and sharing sometimes funny information, but sometimes very pertinent stuff that's wow. There's some aha moments where we go, wow, if only some of the leaders of the world could be listening in.
Exactly.
You know, obviously not for joke time, but for serious time. Although they may need some of your jokes. I've heard some real stinkers from the podium of national whatnots. But so I was thinking, you know, President Trump could donate for us instead of a heater, maybe a jet. Yeah. And we could fly in our guests and fly to them and do remotes. And it's
Hushy
possible.
Hushy is mad at me.
Why's Hushy mad?
He wants to be a donut too.
Hushy wants to be a donut? It's the donut crew. All right, man.
Who's who in the donut factory?
Yeah.
All right.
Well, that's fantastic. I mean, that's the thing is that the original vision I had for the show was that we would eventually get to the point where our international friends who'd been on would feel comfortable just showing up occasionally and not have to spend as much time where we had a dedicated primary guest, but then we could have other people show up. And it just takes practice, and people had to get used to the idea. But I think we're starting to see the beginnings of that. So that's kind of fun. That would be awesome. Just a bunch of people on chatting.
Yep.
So is there something different? Because for whatever reason, your video seems particularly clear today. It seems more clear than normal. Am I imagining that, Jake?
I moved to this other room that I was in. Plus, I have the light right above me and the low light right next to me, and it's a little smaller corner. So maybe there's a bouncing off of the light waves.
Yeah.
And so
I don't know, man. There's something about it. It seems just a tad clearer for some reason. So that's cool.
It's the color scheme too. The
blue and the yellow,
and the blue and the gold, this yellow background, and that's a green hat.
You're well balanced.
You're bringing in some warms and some cools, and it makes it pleasant to look at.
He's a color guy.
Okay.
Yeah. I like lighting and.
It's almost like, what do you call it? This man, I forgot the term. It's like in the Middle Ages. I mean, what was it called, like golden ratio or something? Whatever it's called, like when not ratio.
No, you're right. There is a term in art, and I can't remember it either.
Yeah,
Sorry.
Anyways, yeah, I know what it sounds in Russian, but I just don't know what's in it.
Would you say it in Russian?
Yeah.
Zолотое сечение.
There you go. So everybody who's watching that speaks Russian, they're right there with
the rest of you. That's a great restaurant chain that you may want to visit at your mall. It sounded
okay.
Ask him if this.
Yeah, hey Russ, our question of the day that we
haven't asked
that we rarely get to, but we're asking someone today because you're there. Do other countries know what a crawfish and shrimp boil is? And
because we have one coming up next week.
Yeah.
Say it again. The last one.
And why would we do that?
So a crawfish. Do you know what crawfish is?
Yeah.
So are those common where you are? I mean,
yeah, big time.
Oh really?
There's we call them rak, which is the same word as cancer, by the way.
Oh.
Ouch.
So you're going to cancer boils?
Wow.
Well, because if you look at the astrological signs of it, it's called cancer.
That type of cancer.
Right, because it looks akin to the astrological symbol.
Yeah. So and there's even the saying. You have the saying once in a blue moon, and we have a saying once the crawfish will whistle on a mountain. You know, that when it happens. That means it's very rare when the crawfish will whistle on a mountain.
Wow, just the idea of a crawfish whistling at all, it seems pretty rare.
So
to me.
that is not, as far as that's not an astronomical thing, whereas astronomical, because the cancer. Well, astrological in this particular. The stars. I mean, the stars.
Yeah, it's
are we talking about the horoscope or the stars?
Astrology is the mythical side of astronomy.
Yeah, that would be the horoscope side.
Yeah.
Okay.
So it's not a reference to where the stars are over a certain mountain that happens once ever so.
It's not literally a crawfish on top of a mountain whistling.
So,
but I would pay to see that.
Yeah, that's not happening.
At all.
Or like you guys saying it once in a blue moon. It's very rare occasion.
I mean that's a sign. That's the sign of an advanced translator, right? Because I've never met a translator that could throw down more idioms more quickly, more accurately than you. I don't know where you learn all this stuff, man. How do you pick it up?
I don't know. It's my memory thing. I guess I remember some things when I was very little, and then my parents start arguing with me. I remember too the kind of shots they were giving me and what kind of syringe they actually used and stuff like that. I don't know. It's something with my memory.
This sounds like a traumatic memory.
So you're like Wolverine and stuff?
Yeah.
Anyway.
You're an X-Man.
No, but I mean the thing is when you get into idioms. I mean, those often do not translate. If you have somebody who can actually translate an idiom into another culture's idiom, that means you really understand all of it. I mean, that's like an advanced thing.
Yeah. So what was about the crawfish and shrimp?
Well, we've got something coming up this next week.
Next week, there's a crawfish and shrimp boil right here across from the Toad. Owen and Sandy are a big part of the crawfish and shrimp boil. It's
a fundraiser
for Special Olympics. So we just didn't know. So you have crawfish there. How big do the crawfish get? Like in the creeks, rivers, lakes, whatnot?
In rivers mainly.
How big are they?
How big?
Talking.
That looks like a lobster, dude.
See, maybe.
Are they?
It's probably from the same family, lobster.
Sure.
So this could be more of a freshwater.
Shrimp is tiny, and they kind of jump. You know, when they swim.
Yeah.
understand it correctly. While crawfish, they kind of in the bottom, and they eat all kinds of stuff.
They go under rocks, and they have the pinchers,
Yeah, those.
Yeah.
And then if you boil them, they become red.
Right.
That's what lobster do, and so do crawfish.
Right.
Yeah, so you have crawfish that are, this big. That's a pretty big crawfish. And they get bigger. And like in Louisiana, they get pretty big. So are they freshwater or brackish water, or a mixture of salt and fresh water in some areas, depending on the water?
I think it's fresh water mainly.
Usually they are. Yeah.
Because, if it's a river crawfish, it's a fresh water.
Well, I mean, I've never thought of it before, because where we live, when you talk crawfish, even though they are other places, it's just tied to the Cajun culture around New Orleans and in Louisiana. And the idea that they're prevalent in different parts of the planet never really crossed my mind. And and where you are, you're in the middle of a major continent, and the idea that you're so comfortable saying,
we should do a Texas Big Star International crawfish boil.
Sure.
There's something beeping over here.
That's my phone.
Oh,
going
okay.
off. Yeah.
So we're distracted by beeps.
International crawfish boil. Building bridges, man.
How do you do that?
I don't know.
They boil them there, and we boil them here.
And then we
send them to some place in the middle and televise them eating them.
I don't
You
think
come
they'd
up with the
survive
most
transit.
expensive ideas.
Can I say?
He comes up with ideas.
Rockefeller
I
taste.
try to figure out whether or not we can afford to do it. I mean, so
maybe we could televise us shrimp boils and then somehow arrange for what's halfway between us and you, Russ?
Maybe Germany or Spain, something like that.
I think it's more in the Atlantic.
Somewhere on a boat in the Atlantic. Thanks for the shrimp, guys. Or the crawfish.
Yeah, there's not enough to eat there in the middle of the ocean.
In the middle of the ocean.
So shrimp, I mean, we were talking shrimp now.
Think this through.
Is that a freshwater thing as well?
Yeah, it is for fresh water. And
Yeah,
they're
freshwater
tiny, or
shrimp.
smaller ones.
Yeah.
I mean, at least where I grew up, and like in the Far East, in Vladivostok area, I'm sure there are like tons of crabs and what do you call them, crabs?
Seafood, those kind of things.
Seafood,
Or seafood. Yeah, they're
those
called
big
crabs
ones,
or
they-
lobsters also. And
Yeah, lobsters, all of those guys. Well, like here, mainly the normal fish and crawfish, stuff like that. It's funny how you guys call different animals whatever fish, which doesn't even look like a fish. Like crawfish doesn't even look like a fish, or jellyfish. It doesn't even look like a fish. I mean, you guys.
That's what I love about
know,
our
it's
language.
not
is
your
you can't
fault, but
defend
it's
it.
just like-
It's
You
like
can't defend
it's
it
like
at
the mantis shrimp.
What's that?
You've never heard of the
it's a
mantis
type of
shrimp?
Yeah.
The thing that can punch so hard it can create light.
Yeah.
Yes. Here, hold on.
Yeah.
Oh, Jake's gonna hook us up.
Is that the one that creates like this little explosion?
Yeah, because it punches so hard.
Yeah. It's
I've never heard of
and
this.
on the exponential scale, if it were
If it
100
were-
times its size, it would be like Godzilla showing up on land. It'd be-
A mantis shrimp.
Yeah.
Uh-oh, here he goes. He's gonna play it. Oh, we got a commercial.
It's all right. Well, in a matter of 14 seconds, we'll be able to view what JB's talking about, the mantis shrimp.
Or we hope it is, because
Yeah.
sometimes you click on
Not
one
to
thing
be
on the internet and it
confused.
shows you something else.
Yeah.
Up, we have
Oh, we have two guys that we have no idea who they are.
that's a mantis shrimp right there. That's a third guy we don't know.
Here we go.
They have to do it in slow mo to see the mantis shrimp do its thing.
Okay, that didn't show us anything.
We're getting closer.
There's a gun.
They're saying that it's as powerful as.
So it wouldn't physically go through you, but
I don't know if you know, but the mantis shrimp is one. I don't know if you know, but
yeah, it was very, very painful.
no, Jamie, I don't know if you know, but the mantis shrimp is.
Wasn't even a fun.
They're not from around here.
No, they are not.
I don't think that Russ can see or hear this.
Yeah, I saw that.
Oh, all right. He's like, yeah, it's old news, Matt.
Look at that. They're having to light up the tank.
There we go.
There we go.
Just punch something.
Look at that.
See that little explosion?
Wow.
So it's so powerful that it causes.
Here's the
life.
contact point. They're going to show you. Oh, that's the joint that he uses to do that.
Okay.
Wow.
Crazy.
I've never heard of that before.
Just imagine that shrimp. If it was the size of you and I, he would be throwing a fastball in the major leagues at about 220 miles per hour.
Yeah.
That's crazy, man.
I'm kind of guessing, but
so everybody knew about this except me, which is not that surprising. But
I didn't know that.
oh, you didn't either. Oh, thank you. You're just making me feel better. That's what you're doing.
But they.
No, I actually didn't know about that.
I actually have a question for Russ. This is a throwback to a previous conversation, but do you know the band The Village People?
From where?
They made the song YMCA.
The Village People. They're from the 70s.
Late 1970s, YMCA.
Yeah.
They dressed.
You'll have to watch the show. You'll have to watch the show.
Sounds familiar. Yeah.
There were 6 people, one of which was apparently Obama, according to Brian.
No. That was a different picture.
That was a photo.
Yeah.
That was a different picture.
They also had a hit called In the Navy.
Yeah, they did In the Navy. Yeah.
Yep.
There was a lot of.
In the Navy, in the Navy.
You can sail the 7 seas in the Navy. Put your mind at ease in the Navy. Something that rhymes with.
Just imagine Brian in a red hard hat. And
you see, they need a hand. Yeah.
Oh, man.
Yeah,
All right.
You guys are so much.
So it's late there, man, right?
Here? Yeah, it's all only like
11?
5 after 10.
5 after
Oh, wow.
10.
Because the guy we were
8
talking
hours.
to in India, it was already midnight there, and that was like 30, 40 minutes ago.
Well, they are ahead of us.
Yep. Yes, they are.
Rotating around the sun.
So you are working on, you got your license officially, or it's almost done?
They said come in 2 weeks and we'll give it to you. But as far as like my part is done.
And they gave you, it's all good, just waiting on the paperwork. And then that event's coming up pretty soon?
Yeah, I think it's on the 16th. That's when they all start the games.
Dude, I hope that works well for you, man. It sounds like it could be fun, kind of interesting, distracting, or something like that.
Yeah, absolutely. And they're already like closing off some parts of the city, and we've had Prime Minister visiting us, Mr. Medvedev, and so they were already practicing. And I think with that company that I'm hoping to work with, we're going to go through some routes, and they're going to show us where to go to, where to drop them off, and stuff like that. So it's going to be something. It's crazy that I didn't know that I would be like, there's this idea, once you ride a motorcycle, you get this like a motorcycle sickness while you're not riding it. And I didn't know that I'm going to have a similar thing for the car. I haven't been driving the car since like year and a half, maybe, since I sold my car. And so like the last maybe 3 or 4 months, there was not a single night where I not seeing me driving some kind of car.
Wow.
It's like, I don't know why.
Wow.
But at least I will get my fix, driving a car.
You're liable to get a lot of it.
Easy to you guys. You live in a civilized world where it's not a big problem. You can get any car, you can drive anywhere you want. And here, to me, like I'm only riding a metro and buses.
That reminds me, years ago when I was getting my private pilot's license, I spent so much time in the cockpit of a small airplane, day in and day out, several times a week during the summer of this 2 or 3 month period, that after I would fly and get out in the parking lot to the car, I would literally sit down and have to stop and think, wait a minute, how do I do this? And I would literally stop for 10 seconds and go, wait, car ignition is here.
Yeah.
Got it. Okay. It was really weird. It's an odd feeling. It was an odd feeling.
Yeah, that's fun. Absolutely. I understand. Yeah, they say the same thing about motorcycles. Once you're like becoming an adrenaline junkie and then you really need some high speeds, and then that's when you really get satisfaction. Then I can get no. Then you just kind of becomes your part of your biology or something, and then you just really need that. And so
Right.
similar.
A guy I grew up with in my hometown, we went different ways when we went to college, but when he was in college, he started driving race cars. Then he started doing skydiving, and then he started doing high-speed bike. You know, the put your knee down on the ground, turn in the corners thing. And he had actually achieved a level of competition where he was like on ESPN and in like major races, or not major races, I mean the races that lead up to the major races, and was really good. And then years later, I saw him at a reception, just kind of randomly. Hadn't seen him in 25 years, and I knew he had been doing that, but I hadn't talked to him. And I was sitting there talking to him, and he was looking a little bored. And I was like, so, is it a problem when you do that kind of stuff? Do a lot of people have like substance abuse issues because they just can't get the same level of adrenaline going because you can't be going 200 miles an hour? And he was like, he looked at me and he goes, yeah, I got a lot of problems. Got a lot of friends with a lot of problems. Yeah. It's just that adrenaline, man. Once you get addicted, it's rough.
I'm actually wanted to have a fast bike when I got my motorcycle. Actually wanted to have some kind of a hog or something that would be comfy but not necessarily really fast. But my friend said, this is for the older guys like 40 plus, and I was 38 at that time. And I'm like, okay.
Well, see, the thing is, though, you're smart, though. That's the thing. You're as smart as a 40-year-old guy.
Thanks.
That's what's going on.
Because here the idea is like there's a life before 40, and then you just kind of finish whatever's rest,
Oh wow!
After that,
right?
Yeah. Even there's this superstition that you're not supposed to celebrate your 40th birthday for some reason.
Really?
Yeah. Not sure why.
Huh.
Yeah. Anyways.
Well, I didn't realize that 40 was such a big deal there, but
I know, but you guys have a lot better life expectancy because of healthcare and the overall living conditions, or I don't know, the quality of water or food or whatever. I mean, whereas here, after 40, they kind of think, you're already gray and old, pretty much.
Well, I really appreciate you hanging out with us. I didn't realize I was that ancient, but from where you are, I didn't say you've treated me that way.
It's not my view at all, because it's just I'm saying that this is the general idea, and so yeah.
This has been more educational than I expected. I mean, every time I talk with you, I learn stuff, man.
Thanks. Many people like the writers of the classic age, like Pushkin. You probably heard of him. He got killed on the duel. Shooting each other with the other guy, and he was 37. And at that age, he's already thinking he is like old. Right. And so some of those guys, they were really thinking like after 30, like you going downhill or something. And
well, anybody who's young thinks that. I mean, Hushy sitting there thinks 30 is a big deal. Yeah. Hushy's in Norway right now, and he's definitely on the younger side of things from what I can tell.
Sure.
To say the least, he's on the younger side of things. But he said in Norway, 30 is a big deal.
Okay.
I don't like to think about it, because you are what you are.
Yeah. I don't know, but I've been told, never slow down, you never get old.
Well, dude, it's
Guess who's on?
Jake's making noises.
Guess who's on?
Mr. Phelps is up there.
George.
Hey, look, we have a friend from Africa on. Can you see him there, Russ?
Yeah. George Phelps.
That's George, man. Yeah, that's
George,
cool.
you there? Can you hear us?
Hey guys, I can hear you. What about me?
Yeah, we can hear you fine, man. Good job.
Awesome.
Speaking of old people, we were talking about in Norway, they think 30 is a big deal, and Russ is in Russia, and he was saying they think like 40 is the magic level, and then after 40, and I was just telling him how ancient I am, and I was happy they would even talk to me because I'm so ancient. So
ancient days, huh? No, you're not ancient. You're totally cool.
So how you doing, George?
Hey, I'll tell you what, there's no place I'd rather be except maybe the Horny Toad, maybe.
Nice.
Yeah, you've been here more than once.
Yep. Can't wait to get back. I'll be home in August. That's a little bit too long, but here before you know it.
Hey, dude, you need everybody on the show may or may not know where you are right now, and I haven't told them, so tell us where you are.
Well, if you were going to, I shouldn't say this, but if you were going to give the world an enema.
Oh, no, don't say that.
You had me at enema.
No, I'll tell you what. It's a nice little island off the coast of Nigeria. It's called Bonny Island. About an hour and a half by flight from Lagos. So it is in the middle of nowhere.
So you've been working there for a couple of years now, right?
Yeah, March, May, 4 years I've been over here. That's when we moved to Texas at the same time. Moved to Clifton about the same time in 2013. Well, we moved to the Wallace Ranch first.
That's right. You guys spent some time at our place. I know. I thought it was like 3 years ago, but that's just evidence that I really am old because it seemed like just the other day.
I'll tell you what. It's I'm looking at some more jobs right now. I might have something in the works where I can get over to Brunei. That's what I'm hoping.
Oh wow, fantastic! So how often do you get on and do video Skype there from Africa? You usually use Skype, but we're using a different application than that.
Yeah, it took me a little battling here to be able to get on, but yeah, I Skype with my bride probably about once a week or so.
Cool.
Talk to her every day, but by Skype about once a week.
So what time is it there? I know it's earlier than it is in Russia.
About 10 minutes after 8 p.m. on this Lord's Day right now.
Yeah.
Fantastic.
Oh, Saturday.
Do you know George?
I don't know that.
Why don't you come see me, Matt?
Yeah. Well, if you send me a ticket, I might pull it off. You never know. Miriam and I are getting ready to head to Thailand to help some people with a meeting in a couple of weeks. So I won't be on, I guess, 2 shows in a row there for a while. But yeah, we don't travel much unless somebody provides us a ticket because I sure can't afford it myself.
Travel has gone way.
Well, I know you'll leave the show in capable hands there for a couple of weeks, but I have a hard time getting my bride over here too.
Yeah, it takes effort. I think on our trip over, Miriam and I were looking. I think getting to where we're going to be the length of the trip from the first flight to the end of the third flight. I think is like 27 hours, and I think it's longer coming back. It may be like 28 hours. So, you know how that feels, man. Those long trips get to you.
I'll tell you what, I'm worthless for a couple of days when I get home. I'm back in Clifton there.
So, Russ, what's the farthest you've traveled on a flight? I mean, all your stuff has been basically Central Asia, and so, I mean, your longest flight's usually been like 4 or 5 hours, right?
Yeah, the longest one was, first from Central Asia to Moscow, and then from Moscow to Czech Republic. That was the longest ever.
Yeah, that's not a long trip, dude.
I know, but it's for me.
No, it's all relative.
Hey, Matt.
Yeah.
When we went and did video work for, I think it was it Stan? It might have been Stan.
We were in Jakarta.
Yeah. That first leg, how long was that flight?
That first leg that we were on, if I remember correctly, we flew out of Dallas into Incheon, and that was a 15-hour flight that actually had weather delays. So I think it ended up being 16 and a half hours, if I remember correctly. It was a long flight.
It was a very long flight.
Yeah, but it was fun. I mean, it's nice when you're in a nice layover airport. When we were there, Jake was much younger, but I was helping him spot the differences between Japanese, Chinese, Filipino, and Korean, I think. And we were there like 4 or 5 hours, and by the end of it, I think he's getting pretty good at it.
Not anymore.
Yeah, it's just you got to recognize that we all look the same and we all look different. You just got to kind of spot it.
So George, I have to say hi. You can't see me, but it's good seeing your face.
Yeah, Jake's looking at you.
Can't wait to get home there. But hey, Matt, when I was working in Russia, we were living in Clifton again. 2005. I was making that flight every month over to Incheon.
Yeah. So yeah, that is because you were near Vladivostok, right?
We were working again on another island on the far east coast of Russia, there in Sakhalin Island, just above Japan.
What did you just call it?
Say that again. I didn't hear you.
He wants to. He's questioning your Russian here, man.
I think I know the name of the island. We call it Sakhalin. Is that it?
That's it. Вы говорите по-русски тоже?
Ну да, я ведь русский, поэтому.
Ага. Я говорю по-русски не очень хорошо.
We guys are speaking Russian, by the way. Here.
Yeah, we figured that out, Russ. Thanks a lot.
I thought it was a Jersey accent.
We'll have our own conversation. Huh?
Yeah, I forgot about that. I forgot that you guys could talk to each other.
We love it.
So how's his Russian, Russ?
Yeah, it's fine for.
Put him on the spot.
For American, yeah, it's very good.
Very good, George. Congratulations, man. When's the last time you spoke Russian?
Spasiba. It's been a long time, buddy.
All right. Well,
hey, I do speak Spanish. I do speak Spanish. If you didn't know that.
Yeah, I knew you spoke Spanish. You were like our translator when we were in northern Mexico one time, right?
Yeah, I was. I had a terrible translation occurrence when I was in Nicaragua. It was hilarious.
So Russ told us a story earlier about a test, a translation test that he was taking, and it was the final test, but the way it was translated, it was the autopsy. So you got
okay, I got one just as good. I was translating for a preacher. The preacher was from Katy, translating into Spanish, and he had a story he was telling. He was talking about Jackie Robinson, and anyway, the guy walked up. Is it Reese? Anyway, he walked over and gave Jackie Robinson a hug, and abrazo is hug, and embarazo is got him pregnant, and that's what I said.
Yeah. Yeah, I personally have made that mistake when we lived in Spain. I know that one. That one's an easy one to do.
Oh, okay. I remember this one thing that it was actually a joke that was made by an American who was studying Russian. Okay, so one day he was telling to his Russian tutor, "I feel blue." And so he just said that in Russian, "Я голубой," which means I'm gay. So you don't want to say that. I'm blue. It's funny that, in English, it's just the opposite of that, right?
I was in Lima, Peru years ago, my wife and I, on a mission trip, and we were hearing stories of bad translations or lack thereof, and there was a man who was doing street evangelism, and he decided if he would forego a translator.
He's just going to take care of it himself.
He's going to take care of himself because he knew enough Spanish, and he was not from the area. He was from the U.S., and he starts quoting out of the Bible where Jesus says, "My sheep hear my voice, and they know me, and they answer," that type of thing. And the word he used for sheep was actually, it was old women. So he was saying to all this huge crowd, "My old women hear my voice, and they know me, and they follow me."
That's not what you want to be yelling to a bunch of strangers.
And the old ladies were kind of staring at each other going, "Oh, okay."
We're not his old woman.
But I've got to say, the best translation errors I've ever seen is whenever something is translated from something like Japanese or Chinese into English. There are so many.
Sometimes there's just gaps that just don't.
That's like every instruction manual ever.
Yes.
So George, when was the last time you were in the States, man? You said it's been a while, right?
Well, it's going to be a while before I get back. I was there about a month ago, but this stay over here is about 3.5 months this time. So
were you in Texas and I didn't see you, huh? Busted.
Snuck in and snuck out. Yep.
Yeah, I know how that goes. I've got a lot of friends that do international travel, and They do that a lot because, I mean, a lot of times people get upset when they find out you were in town, and so they'll sneak into the country, say hi to the people, and then get out and never tell anybody because they just can't afford to see everybody that wants to say hi.
Yeah, you get a place like this. I'm over here, let's say a year at a time, and I get maybe 3 or 4 breaks during the year, and I'm only home about 3 weeks at a time. So that time is precious.
Yep. Yeah, it is. Well, dude, that's fantastic. Like I said, I forgot that you guys could speak Russian. And did you ever go to Vladivostok when you were in that part of the country? George? I wanted to say Russ, but George?
No, I didn't. When I was over there, it was a rotation, 28 days on, 28 days off. So when I was at work, I was at work. So the only little bit of travel we got was on when we had maybe delays in, layovers in Japan or Korea for a couple of days. But no, I didn't travel in Russia.
I was just curious. Have you ever been to Vladivostok, Russ?
No.
All right.
No.
Not yet.
Miriam and I were there for a while. We had done a conference in Seoul, and some friends of ours had friends in Vladivostok. We went with them, and the whole time we were there, it felt like we were in a Bourne movie. There was the guy that was driving us around. He was telling us his uncle was like a KGB guy. Took us all around the city, and they had this really, really cool music that some people from their church had done. But it had a very distinct Russian vibe to it. It felt like I was in a Bourne movie the whole time. It was awesome.
Hey, when we first got over there in 2005, we recruited about 75 Russian guys who were all ages, but a lot of those guys had lived through during communist bloc Russia and had never worked around Western people. So when they first came on board, they were awful suspicious. I mean, they were very reluctant to open up or anything, but a few barbecues later, everything was all right. I mean, I didn't drink beer, but a few barbecues later and some vodka and some beer, they loosened up a little bit.
Yeah.
Do you ever play? What's the game, Russ?
Is it Durak?
Yeah, Durak.
Russian roulette.
No, is it Durak?
Yeah, right.
So what are you guys laughing about? I don't know about what you just said.
Yeah. There's some jokes. There are jokes between like Norwegians and Swedish all the time.
Yeah.
And so some say, Swedish would say Norwegians would play Russian roulette with pistol. Or the other way around. Not like
I had a Swedish friend. I'm fourth Norwegian. My background is my grandmother was 100% Norwegian, and I had a Swedish friend, and he would always tell me. He said the one thing that the Norwegians have that Swedes don't have.
And I know what that is.
Good neighbors.
Was that Mats Dunahak said that?
That was Mats. Yeah, you know Mats. I forgot about that. You know Mats too.
Yeah. I remember.
I always wished I could get
Norwegian soccer field, which was like on a 45 degrees angle soccer field for Norwegians.
So, well, we had a Norwegian. Is Hushy still on here? Because I mean, he may not appreciate the Norwegian jokes, but I thought it was funny. But I've been trying to. I've not been able to get Mats because Mats travels a lot, and he's a lot of fun, but I've been trying to talk him into getting on the show, but he's not done that yet. So maybe we can work that out. So I forgot you knew him, so maybe I could entice him to join us if I could say, hey, Russ is going to be on as well.
He probably does more.
You never know. So I was asking about Durak. I was curious if George ever played that.
Durak. No, I have not.
Did you even hear of it?
I don't know what that is. No, I don't know what that is.
A card game.
Yeah, I mean, you didn't teach us that. I think, Huh? What? Oh, Saints hat. No, we were talking about crawfish boil earlier and about Cajuns in Louisiana, so I guess you could know a little bit about that. Did you know that they had a big crawfish right in the middle of Russia where Russ lives?
No, I did not.
Yeah, never thought of it, man. See, we're just all learning today.
I'm afraid I may have changed Bosque County for life. We had a crawfish boil at Caleb's graduation, had a few crawfish left over, so we took them out to one of the creeks there in Bosque County.
Oh my gosh. I don't know if I'd admit to that. I mean, I guess you're on another continent. You might get away with it.
True.
The internet has a long memory.
I'm going to say they were dead, okay?
Okay, that's the story. We're sticking to that one. So exactly how dead were these? How big were they?
And where were they from?
They were from the fine state of Louisiana, but yeah, they were dead.
Yeah, exactly. All right. Well, guys, it's getting late, man. We're gonna have to wrap it up because we're coming up on our general target time.
On our 3-hour time, yeah.
I really appreciate.
You bet. Thanks for the invite. I know it was a little bit tough getting dialed in and everything, but appreciate your patience. Thanks for the invite. Love you guys. Miss you. Can't wait to see you.
Hey, you watch our show occasionally, right?
Yeah, I was going to tell you, give Matt a kiss for me. I mean, give Jake a kiss for me and Miriam a hug, all right?
Yeah.
Not the other way around.
Russ thought that was funny. I think Jake heard you. We're good. I'll give Miriam a kiss, though.
We're good.
Oh, okay. Love you guys. Talk to you later.
Take care, George. Thanks, man.
All right, you bet.
Here's my hairbrush.
Yeah, that was awesome, man. You didn't expect us to have some American on that's in Africa speaking Russian to you, did you?
Yeah, that was unexpected. But, yeah, he lived on Sakhalin, if I understood that correctly, on that island.
Yeah,
which is disputable between Japan and Russia since World War II, I think.
Yeah. We don't want to talk about too many of those islands because those are like taboo to talk about, right?
Oh yeah, okay.
I'm just kidding. If I remember correctly, there's a bunch of islands in that part of the world where there's different people who say they own them. I know that's happening between Japan and China.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Well, dude, I appreciate you being.
Yeah.
Glad you were a donut, man. I wish I had
Hey,
taken
my
a picture.
pleasure. I haven't seen you guys in a while, so that was actually a pleasure for me to talk to you guys and
there we do. That's what we're
about
talking about.
stuff and about, see your happy faces and putting up with me, hearing my stupid stories about autopsies and stuff.
Dude, you don't know what stupid stories are, man. If you're stupid stories, yeah.
You should have been here earlier
You
for
should have been here earlier,
the
man.
mushroom and the moss.
Oh,
Yeah,
okay.
we've
And then they were fun guys, right?
Nope, they took a liking to each other. Now their marriage is on the rocks. Don't really understand why. That one dude was a really fun guy.
That's funny. All right. Well, Jake, are we going to raid somebody on Twitch? You know what it is when we raid people on Twitch, Russ?
boy.
Do you remember that? The Twitch,
No.
Twitch.tv has different channels, and when you're streaming live on it, and you finish the stream you're on, you can tell everybody who's watching you to go watch somebody else who's live, and they call that raiding. So on Twitch, you go raid somebody when we wrap up this show.
We're not finding anybody that we know, but it looks like there might be someone singing in Russian. I don't know.
But Hushy said that the two guys are on.
Oh, two guys is streaming? Hold on.
Check the chat.
No one keeps telling me to wait.
Ah. So Hushy wants to know what do you get when you cross a Swede and a blonde? Go ahead, Hushy. Tell us what you get. Because I don't know how many Swedes I've seen that weren't blonde. He's probably busy doing something else, trying to find a raid. It's an old joke, man.
Well, if Hushy doesn't follow through with his joke, I can do it.
Did you know this about him?
You are duly elected and go.
All right. So, what's brown and sounds like a bell?
A what?
A bell?
Brown and sounds like a bell.
Don't know.
Dung.
Hey, I have a joke. If you want me, I can tell you.
Yeah, go ahead.
Jake, you got to put Russ back on the screen. He's going to tell us a joke, man. Jake's distracted. They're trying to find us a raid E.
Okay. Never mind.
Oh, you're making me sad. So that joke that JB just told, when I was in high school, I was in the middle of a match, and there was a guy I was playing that I should have destroyed. And for whatever reason, he had won the first set 6-0. I hadn't won a single game. And I was down 5-0 in the second set, one game away from losing to this guy that never in a million years should have won any games off of me.
Mm-hmm.
And so I was just really in a bad funk. And my friend, who was the class clown, who was also on the tennis team, I said, dude, tell me a joke. Tell me something. And he said, what's brown and sounds like a bell? And I did not know because I was not in that headspace. And he said, dung. And I beat that guy 0-6, 7-5, 6-0. I just destroyed him. It was just because of the stupid joke. Totally unimportant.
What can dung do for you?
Exactly.
Hey, they use that stuff in Central Asia for heating. Know that?
Yep.
Well,
You're not the only. You're not the only people that do that.
Yeah.
I think that's like a thing.
Fuel pellets.
Okay. Cool.
I don't know how much they do in the city though. So what are we
Okay.
gonna do? We're gonna
we're good.
raid Clarabelle. Is that correct, Jake?
We don't know. Yes.
Oh, I don't know.
All they have to do is do the raid call. We'll find out once we get
Hushy,
there.
you got to finish your joke, man. I didn't see the answer. What do you get when you cross this? What was it? What is it? I didn't see.
I think it's you get stupidity.
Ouch. That's just harsh, dude.
Because yep. And so are Swedes.
Ouch. All right, Hushy.
Building bridges.
Building bridges international.
And then burning them down.
Bye to everybody.
All right.
Bye, everybody.
Hey, Russ, we're gonna raid another channel.
Bye, everybody.
So we are saying bye.
We've got to go.
Okay, guys.
Thank you, buddy.
So tune in next week for
Thanks, guys, for
another
inviting
show.
me. And I should run.
Thank you. Bye.
Later. Bye.
Always.